I won't be screen sharing, Zack, because maybe I get some lag or something. So if you want, you want to share something,
Yeah.
you have some.
You can
Or if
drop
you-
anything you want in.
Yeah, anything you want to share, drop right here.
Here in the chat somewhere.
Yep, that'll be perfect. Just where it says chat there at the bottom. You can drop anything you need, videos, whatever. All right, here we go.
Yeah, along the bottom. Yeah, you just click on it and it'll open up a thing.
Cool. I just wanted to send you a link, but of my Facebook, because I have few short videos there. I was sharing lately about the eclipses and all this stuff. Do you have Facebook? No.
Yes. I don't go on there, but I have it for my mom. So she can show me pictures.
He's even got X. He signed up for X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah, I just started on there again.
I saw. All right, I guess we can
Facebook. Yeah.
Whoa.
Facebook is my main platform, Zack. So this is where I have most of my stuff. I have a page called Vikka Draziv Truth in Plain Sight. In the video section, I have all the latest upload. We can screen share from there something, right? There's some interesting stuff. We can speak about eclipses later.
Heck yeah. I've been a member of FERN for a long time.
Oh, yeah, that's one of my group, brother.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I believe we should have all the links in the description. I tried to get as many of them as I could linked up in there. So
Thank you, brother.
No, you're
and
welcome.
the World Flat Earth Association, you know about that? That is my main group.
That's the main group? I don't know that I'm a member of that. I think it's just FERN is the only one I'm a member of.
So there's a World Flat Earth Association, and that has around 70,000 members.
Wow, that's impressive.
That's great.
All right, we'll just do this.
This is the first time I've been on Facebook on my computer.
It's a different experience.
I've only done it from my phone usually.
So if you look for Zack, Vikka Draziv, Truth in Plain Sight is the page. And then on the video section, we can share that. Even the documentary is pinned up there, both of them.
All right, if you guys are ready, I'm ready.
Cool. Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
You dumb bastard.
How dare you?
Happy Friday, my friend.
Here's a message of importance to millions of people who are continually pale and washed out, weak and run down. Doctors will tell you that these conditions are often caused by a deficiency of iron. The iron you need to keep you physically fit and mentally alert. Medical studies show that 2 out of 3 women and many, many men lack the daily iron your body requires in a form your body can easily use and put to work. Every dose gives you more than your daily minimum iron requirement.
Way I wake
if you're not getting the iron your body needs, if you feel weak, run down, and are easily upset, start taking iron today.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here. You're listening to Iron Realm Media. I listen all the time, and it's the best truth show out there. Forget about the mainstream lying. Get your weekly dose of iron. Realm, that is. Stay woke, folks.
Thank God it's Friday.
Yeah, TGIF. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to Have No Fear. Right here on the Iron Realm Media YouTube channel. Still here, still kicking it on the main channel. Glad to see everybody in chat. I will say it's a bit of a somber day for me, but things are looking up. Shibby did pass the Rainbow Bridge right on time. Doc showed up right on time. Took him about 30 minutes for the whole process. And FedEx will bring us the ashes. In a little blue urn. Like a little shaker urn. Like a pepper grinder. I don't know. But we'll see. I guess you can go out and just shake little bits of them in the places that he loved the most. I don't really any place for him. But that's the way she got it. But I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. If you've got to put a pet down, doing it at home is the way to go. Last dog we had, Reese, had to be taken to the vet to be put down up on the cold steel table in the big scary just antiseptic smell filled room and all these strangers around her. We were there, but it was still quite an experience, I can imagine, for her. Whereas this time with Shibby, it was just literally in our living room, on his dog bed, on his blanket, being given love by the whole family as he just went. So it was a great experience. Expensive, but worth the money if that's the way you've got to do it. So that's that. We are down to 2. And I have twice as many rabbits as we do dogs. For whatever that's worth. Thanks, I appreciate it. It was, emotional. But again, we've spent the last several days having to get as much of the grieving done as we can. So, all in all, I think the family's doing relatively well, given the process. So thanks for the love out there. I'm sure it helped along the way. Because I'm just an emotional, weepy little bitch. So, I need all the help I can get. So we'll just jump right in and say hello to Mr. Zachary Zabala. You might recognize him from his little YouTube channel called Good Times for All. Spelled funky. Try it multiple ways, like hacking somebody's passcode. Just keep trying until you find the right combination of words. You'll get to it. You'll get there eventually. Zach, how the hell you doing?
Much better now. Now that I've heard you've, got to talk to you a little bit and heard you talk about it, and you seem at peace. Yeah. So I'm feeling better. It was a very grateful day. I'll say that much. I was very grateful all day long with, which I am usually every day with Hank and men. But today there was just extra belly rubs and extra, biscuit scratches and all that kind of stuff. It was, I was just, taking all that love that I get from them and trying to send it to you and Dixie and the rest of the fam there.
Well, it does feel like we were abnormally strong for a loss. I mean, our losses, at least with Binks, who was most recent, was unexpected. Early and unexpected. Both of which make losing the pet just that much harder and grief that much more intense. But even still, it does feel like we are much more at peace and have had a lot more emotional strength with this one. And you just knew he was done. It was the typical, I'm old and I'm dying of old age and I'm fucking done. And that's what you just knew. But the only thing he would move for was getting his chest rubbed, because he'd splay out his little T-Rex legs and you could pet his chest. But then when the vet came today, he hopped right up and was barking, had his hair standing up. Right to the end.
Doing his job. Right.
Doing his job. Had a boy.
But yeah, that was about it. Like he was not eating, was not drinking. He was just.
He knew. He knew.
Yeah. He did.
We love you, man.
Well, thanks. I mean, overall, it's been a good day. I nerdled probably too late again. Once I realized the vet was here and I hadn't nerdled yet is when I took mine. So once the vet left, I took a little 3-hour nap, which went longer than I'd wanted to. The plan was to get back to work around lunchtime and try to just take one day for Shibby. But because I left yesterday at lunch to go get him his final meal that he didn't eat. But I slept right through that. And when I woke up, I thought, fuck it. Just fuck it. So we hung out with Dixie for a little bit. Came in here, hopped on, played a little bit of Breakpoint with you, Zack, and now we're doing a show. About to hang out with our new friend, Vikka. But before that, we're going to say hello to Mr. Walt Johnson. He's got a little channel here on YouTube called Flat Earth Head. Not that he does a whole hell of a lot with it, but Walter, how are you?
I know, that dude sucks, man. He should do something with that channel. Hey, guys, I am glad I'm here, Josh. I've been hugging you all day. Sending you extra love and extra hugs out there, Jason Talbot in chat, who lost a friend as well, best friend, and definitely know the pain there as well, man. So sending you hugs and love. It's been a crazy Friday for everybody. My son called, said he's back in the hospital after his gallbladder surgery. So apparently the energy is just really crazy right now. So we're all a family. We're all here together. We're all here to meet a new friend, some completely new. Some of you guys have already known Vikka for a while. I talk enough. You hear me all week long. I'm going to shut up, say hey to this lovely lady. Hi, lovely lady. And then let's get Vikka in here.
Let's. You all might recognize that lovely lady from her channel here on the YouTube's Aisling717. Cami Knodel. How are you doing, Cami?
Well, I'm hoping everything's going to swing in the other direction now, and I can't think of any better than Vikka to start it. I started off this morning hearing about your puppy, Josh, and spent the day giving our dogs love, and then I got to hear from Karen. If y'all know, I'm really, really good friends with Karen.
Shout out Karen B and Ted.
And shout out Karen B and Ted. And my heart goes out to them. Some dogs got into their chicken coop and they lost all of their chickens today. And that one was completely unexpected. Like, I think with Josh, what you said was like really pertinent, that you like prepared for it and you brought the vet to your house and you knew like you gave your pet the best send off and something comforting in doing that. But there's something shocking when things are unexpected. Even though your relationship with chickens is not the same as your relationship with a dog, it's still just the shock of it. You're still fond of them, and you still. Chickens. Ted loves those chickens. That's not even fair to say. Ted loves all animals, and all animals love Ted.
I think it's pretty similar. Pretty dang similar from the way I understand it. I've not myself personally owned a chicken, but from the people that I know that have owned chickens. They each have their own personality. Eventually, you're going to get to know those chickens, and I know maybe he's not had them all that terribly long.
No, he knew them all well. He
More
knew
than
the
enough.
I knew 'em
pecking
all well.
order
Yeah,
and
see.
everything.
Yep,
Like
that's-
this one is top dog, you know, the top chicken, and then this one, and then this one, and this one, and this one is like this, and this one acts like this, and these
The
two
gray
are always
one.
getting at each other, and it's
Yeah.
funny. He,
Much
The gray
like,
one was my favorite. I even got to know him when chicken sitting because I have chicken sat on the chickens when they've gone out, like when they did the eclipse and that. I did take care of the chickens and the dogs and all the critters, and so and the kitties, and yeah, it's really special and it's really hard to lose. So I don't know that the magnetic field to the south, everything feels unsettled and yucky, and hopefully that will swing out too. Listening to Ben Davidson calling like the end of the world cracks me up. If he would just put a lid on it, he wouldn't be so scared. That's Suspicious Observers, by the way, for anybody that doesn't follow it. But that's enough of me. I really want to hear how Vikka is doing and what he is up to in that, because I'm super excited about tonight's guest. Let you do the introduction.
Well, this is, again, a very embarrassing introduction because I'm like 94% sure Vikka reached out to me years ago. And it was another one of those things that just fell through the cracks because Josh is a disorganized, unwilling to take initiative.
Pothead.
There you go. Josh is a pothead. And
just one word, 2 words can sum it all up.
Hyphenated. I don't know. We could either way. Yeah, that's how we sum it up. Josh is just a pothead and never made anything happen of it. But Josh has been a member of the Flat Earth Research Network. They're on Facebook. If you guys aren't, I suggest you run over there. Either if you can multitask, do it now. Otherwise, wait till the end of the show. But make sure it gets done. And I know there's a couple other bigger, more active Flat Earth groups that Vikka's and leading the charge through. And we're going to let him get into that. So just everybody give us a nice Flat Earth Iron Realm welcome. Finally, to Vikka Draziv. Welcome.
What's up? What's up? Hello, everyone. A big hello to Iron Realm Media community and the team. Josh, Walt, Zack, Cami. Thanks for having me. And yes, I was looking forward for this podcast. I've been also a subscriber of Iron Realm Media from a very long time. I do tune in some early mornings because for me that shows some shows in the morning when I'm doing my gardening. So it's a perfect timing. So it's a pleasure to finally be with you guys here. And Josh, yeah, sorry to hear about your loss, brother. It's sometimes things, we cannot control everything, right? The important is that we have good memories with our loved ones, even if they have crossed, right? For sure, we know that they are in a better place. So to have good memories and good emotions is what really all matters. So absolutely, brother. So yeah, looking forward for the conversation, guys.
Yeah, we've lost quite a few pets since the dozen or so years since the wife and I have been together, between the cats and the dogs and the rabbits. There's sure to be a big welcome homecoming somewhere over there in pet heaven. I don't know. Somebody said that pets go to a different heaven than humans. I can't imagine that there's no pets in human heaven.
Not in my heaven.
It's exactly what I said. I said in my heaven, there's no way pets are not in my heaven.
There's no people in my heaven. Nothing but dogs. Right. Just saying.
Yeah.
That's a joke, though. I love people, too. But, yeah, my heaven's got dogs. Guaranteed.
So let's talk about you for a little bit, Vikka. How old of a fellow are you?
Oh, I'll be hitting a half century this year.
Ooh, that's exciting. You looking forward to that?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'm right behind
It's
you.
always learning.
My sister will be 50.
You too?
Well, my sister will be 50, which makes me 47. So I'm not terribly far behind. So in the next few years, I'll be hitting it.
Well, you wear it well, my friend.
You
wear
certainly
it well.
do. Yes,
I
you
feel
do.
every inch of my 57.
And I'm here to make all y'all feel like babies. So there.
How are you going to do that?
Because I got your 50 beat, I got your 57 beat. We're
You don't
getting
have that
6.
57 beat by too much, though.
Yeah, we're hitting the big 6-0 this year, and it's kind of freaky. Kind of freaky, I gotta say.
It's pretty good.
Feels like I should grow up one of these days. Not sure when it's going to happen, but I don't think it's going to be by 60.
Well,
Just saying.
So where on the plane are you from, Vikka?
I
If you
live
don't
in
mind.
Spain. Yeah, I
Spain?
live in Spain. Yeah, I'm origin from India, but I have didn't had opportunity to live in India. I've been living in different countries because of my father's business. Yeah, I also traveled a lot of backpacking in different places, so a lot of experience in that too.
That's pretty cool.
And what do you do when you're not doing Flat Earth? Or is it Flat Earth
I'm into
everything?
event. I organize events, art events, like markets in southern Spain. That's my bread.
Nice.
Flat Earth is not
Fabulous.
my bread. Yeah, I just
For
do
the-
this for hobby.
Yeah, flat Earth is nobody's bread.
ain't that the truth?
Labor of love, that's for sure. So when did you first hear about flat Earth? Do you remember? And what was
I
your
was a
gut
bit late.
reaction?
I was a bit late because I was into conspiracy, a lot of different conspiracy. And just before I found Flat Earth, I was into aliens, like many of us. And I had experiences and I saw things and like, even with that. And I found a video which was like a kind of camouflage, like, check this out before it's deleted or something. And then even though I was so much into conspiracy, it was so difficult for me to find Flat Earth. And when I found it, I was like, holy shit. And I started making content in 2018, my first videos.
In 2018, damn. Guess that has been a long time. How long did it take you to finally fully accept it? You first found it, but then how?
So,
In the same moment, the moment I saw
Wow.
Flat Earth, I was a flat earther, because if the government was saying that it's not flat, for me it was flat. So imagine I was into conspiracy like big time. So I didn't need any convincing. I saw some videos was just to get the idea what it is. But for me it was like, that's it.
Wow.
and how'd you fit aliens into the scenario? Just wondering, because that's my life of study before all this was looking into other, creatures, whatever you want to call them. Once I got to talking and getting to know Whitley Strieber's stuff, and really I met him a few times at conventions, and I was pretty convinced they were not from anywhere outside of this area, that they were definitely here and they've been here for a long time. But I still had to figure out, this whole okay, flat realm, where the hell are they from, So how did you fit it in?
Oh yeah, same like the Star Wars and Star Trek, all the ancient cosmologies, they have been telling us about all this. Like all the Star Wars, Star Trek are the rip-off of this ancient cosmology. The detail
That's
they
just
are in.
mythology, though, Vikka. It's just mythology, right?
Yeah, even the Sumerians, all the names of the gods are used in the games. It's because they are literally ripping it out from them. The human brain is not well defined to just come up with this thing by themselves. This is all rip off from the ancients. Everything we could imagine, just put into an outer space sci-fi out of context, right? It makes more sense on our flat Earth. All cosmology speaks about different realms, being lower realms, subterranean worlds, and higher worlds, right? So it is the same way extraterrestrial, intraterrestrials, right? And heavenly realms and beings which are much more evolved. Yeah, it makes it changes the dynamic, but for me, it makes more sense on this. The physical plane is, according to some cosmologies, is so huge, this physical plane, that even our mind cannot grasp it.
No, I've tried so many times to, scale it. And yeah, I can barely get out of the city. Really, I mean, this place is huge. I've driven across this country a couple of times. It's only, 3,000 miles across? Maybe? not that far. And it's enormous. It takes a long time driving, at a good speed to get across it quick. This place is enormous. It is. It's huge. I can't fathom from me to Walt or me to Josh. And just think about all the different roads and streets and avenues and things you could take to get there. This place is too big to see. That's why everybody's like, "Oh, I want to see what's outside beyond Antarctica." And this, I don't care to see it. I'd like to know, what's out there.
Show me pictures.
Yeah, show me pictures.
Video.
I mean, there's so much here in my own state that I haven't seen. This place is enormous.
Oh yeah, and much more to explore. A lot. Some of the detail that they speak about cosmologies about the North Pole, it's amazing details. Some speaks about even what kind of races are possible that are living there.
I've heard of a tribe of small people on one of the islands. I had heard tales of that.
And Gog and Magog also. Hyperborea. The Rupes Nigra, the Cosmic Mountain, the Mount Meru, the Tree of Life, the Slavics.
Yeah, the island.
Yeah, the Tree of Life.
Here in the States, the Native Americans have tales of being saved by the ant people that came from inside the earth and took them into the inner earth when the last catastrophe, the last awakening of the eagle, whatever phrase you want to use for it. And that's how they got saved, by the ant people from inside the earth. So yeah, man, what goes on here is so beyond our grasp. There's so many levels, there's so many layers, there's so many factions. It's enormous.
Oh yeah, and the reptilians and the hybrids and the mutants, right? There are many more possibilities, not just humans. There are so many different kind of humanoids. Absolutely, giants.
I'm still very curious about Mongolia. I had heard, it was a YouTube video I saw, and it was about the king of the earth. And it was supposedly some giant that lived in some subterranean layer in northern Mongolia, where there's like nobody lives up there as far as human wise. And Mongolia is a big country, as far as area wise, it's a pretty big country, but there's only like 4 million people that live there in that whole country. And more than half of them live in the capital city. The rest are kind of nomads. But yeah, there's something going on in Mongolia. And then that video disappeared, and I've never seen another tale or another video about the giant king that lives in Mongolia. It was when I was researching giants.
Oh yeah, most of the cosmologies, creation stories, there are giants. We did cosmology by cosmology. Like every cosmology, we dedicated a podcast, maybe 2.5, 3 hours almost, and going in deep. And most of them, they have giants.
Now,
do you think they were indigenous to this realm, or that they came here from outside this realm, or that they were created by some type of hybrid Nephilim crossbreeding type Anunnaki genetic manipulation type situation?
All in one, brother. All in one. I believe that there was Atlantis was Atlantis, right? We want to say Tartaria. These are the breadcrumbs of Atlantis, what we are living on also. So we could imagine, where are these people, the Atlanteans? It's not under the sea, right? They just separated us as a contaminated race. So we don't contaminate them, right? There could be races around these extra lands that are living in.
That want nothing to do with us.
Exactly.
Would you blame them?
No, because as far as my research goes, the problem is not that if we go to explore, it's not that we're going to have problem. The thing looks like that if somebody tries to go to the extra land, the controllers from here are going to have problems because of the deals they have with those other lands.
You keep your people in check and keep them away from us.
Exactly.
Or you're going to have trouble.
Oh,
I can see that. I mean, did you hear who was it? I think it was Tucker Carlson and Joe Rogan talking about aliens. You know, what we call aliens, extraterrestrials. But Tucker was saying, but they're not from distant stars or galaxies or all this stuff. They're from right here. They've been here for thousands of years with us, and they just don't want anything to do with us. He's like, is it really that hard to believe? I couldn't believe I had heard him say that.
Oh, yeah, they are living with us. There are so many clones and variations already living between us that we cannot even imagine. There is already, breakaway civilizations already here living with us at a totally different DNA.
So how far down the
how
far down the clone rabbit hole have you gone, Vikka? That rabbit hole can get quite deep and quite weird really fast.
Oh yeah, why? Because if you guys have seen my documentary, The Mechanical Realm, it shows
I'm about halfway through it, man. I didn't find it until today. I completely flaked on it. I was digging all your shorts and all the other things that you had, mirrored from other channels, and all of a sudden today I see the documentary. I'm like, so I'm about halfway through it. The Antikythera device has always been a brain breaker for me, but I don't want to get on that yet. We'll keep on the creatures first.
Oh yeah. So the thing there is that there is 1400 years of missing technology. So we could imagine ourselves 1400 years in advance. Even our brain cannot imagine what possibilities are, because what we are doing right now would look to us as magical in the 80s, right? So the same thing. So apart from all the technologies like Antikythera mechanism or many other things, 1400 books about technology was burned. So even in genetics, in cloning, in alchemy, in any science we could imagine, they are 1400 years ahead. Could be more.
That's how they would want it, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah.
I mean, like if I was going to make, let's say, a video game for people to play, to keep everybody in check, I would have my characters be 10 times stronger than any character they can make, and they would all have like superpowers to where you couldn't mess with them. I would be like a invincible god mode, they would call it. Yeah, that's how I would make my sentries, the people to watch over everything. I'm not going to give the players of the game that same type of power. So no, the people in charge, that's what I always say, is just decades. Just think decades ahead. Because trying to think 1400 years, like you said, you can't fathom that. But just do it 50 years, say. Remember 50 years ago in the 70s? What was being 8 tracks? Things like that compared to today? Yeah, it's no contest. They have at least 50 years advance. For sure.
Just think if they cured cancer. Way back when, but they put the cure on an 8-track tape. And you gave it to some high school kids and said, here you go. All the secrets of the universe to be revealed as soon as you figure out how to play it.
They'd have no clue.
Spread out across 8 motherfucking tracks.
Well, the thing I think that broke my brain the most was that last idea I was at as I was wrapping up where I was watching today. And I guess because when I was looking into that device, I was still on the ball. I was still, living the scientific lives. And so we were the ultimate evolution of man, weren't we? So for them to have figured out this device, this had to be the ultimate expression of all their technology. And this is the one amazing thing that they created. No, it wasn't. It was just another fucking cell phone. Everybody had one, and they were everywhere. This just happens to be the one we found. That broke my fucking brain when you said that, man.
This just happened to be the one we found.
Oh yeah, nothing is new under the sun, right? They might be just giving us like slowly, the way is convenient for them. So we evolved because all these 70, 80 years of all that crap has been happening. It looks so artificial, right? It looks so controlled, and we human are reaching at the pinnacle in 70 years, and with all this digital stuff, we are thinking we know everything. And the ancients, that's why they want to call, like as Zack say, right, the fantasy mythology. No, that was real. They were much advanced even than today. We are what we are, right? Absolutely, the ancients.
Well, yeah, just the idea of writing something in stone, that you didn't need a certain device to be able to listen or read it or whatever. All you needed was your eyes. And,
that's sort of what I'm thinking about with that 8-track tape. It's you need electricity. You need to have the technological know-how to build the equipment that runs the electrical coal-burning power plant that creates the electricity to send it to you, you get all this shit fired up. I mean, it's not just about writing it in stone, great. But if you've got it on this digital hard drives that holds 97 terabytes worth of information, it's a fucking paperweight unless you can power the thing up.
Exactly.
I think the digital information, it's like the fast food. I think people that are trying to preserve information see digital storage and laugh because it's the fucking wind. It's so temporary and so dependent on so many other things for you to ever either keep it going or be able to retrieve it 200 years in the future or whatever fallout disaster you're trying to recover from.
Oh yeah. As you guys say about the hieroglyphs and even the pyramids and all these ancient structures, they are all aligned in a way to the constellation, and the way they have been built and the sizes they are and the mathematics involved, the astronomy, geocentric astronomy involved in there to make them. All the ancient cities are pointing to the north. All this technology is not possible even today.
No, we have trouble lining up a building to true north. The pyramids are more lined up perfectly. The Great Pyramid is lined up to true north, more perfect than any building that we've tried to.
Oh, yeah. And the Pumapumku, yep.
I go through some places I haven't visited in a while, like just in general, like here in the state I live in, not even the states away, just right here. I'll go someplace I haven't been in like 10, 15 years, and we'll see just torn down houses, whole lots gone, and it's like there's stuff that they say it's been standing thousands of years. We can't even keep a building up 50 years. And this was up 50 years ago. That's an amazing accomplishment here, It's ridiculous, the technology we supposedly have here, but we can't keep a building standing up downtown. Sorry. So do you think it's a cyclical thing, or is it more of things get to a certain point and whoever's got that ultimate big red button says, well, there's too much going on, too many truthers, too much being found out, let's start over, everybody head to the bunkers, click? Or what do you think happens?
It's quite possible. It's quite absolutely possible. More than 50% is possible that it's like that.
Do you think it's humans that'll be pushing the button, or do you think it might be our,
Oh yeah, the
keepers,
elected,
I guess you could call.
Yeah, the 144,000 are the
interesting
of the controllers, the minions who are controlling this, right? So.
Yeah, they're not doing a very good job.
That's an interesting number. I mean, that's how many Mormons get to go to heaven.
I know, that's why I laughed at the number. It was interesting.
Oh yeah, there's different opinions about that number. It's also the frequency. Also is in different cosmology, this number. But also that number could be possibly taken by these people to control by these 12 controllers, supposed controller, and they have these 144,000 under them. That's why, because there are many races, many people, many things to control.
Yeah, like you said, it's a big place. It's a very big place.
And everything has the right to manifest, negative or positive. So everybody has the right, equal chance.
Yeah, that's the coolest part about it is we can't really blame too much of human suffering on God or nature or whatever you want to call it. I mean, you can to some extent because it does happen, of course, but most human suffrage is by the hands of other humans.
But God lets it happen, don't you know? So it's got to be his fault. God's all-knowing. God's all-powerful. God knows exactly what's going to happen. And because it's happening, God put it all into motion. God makes it happen. And God knows already what's going to happen. So why not place the blame squarely on his shoulders? Because if I think it's a bad thing that happened, obviously it must be a bad thing for God. God must have saw it as bad. And when he did it, he thought this is going to be a bad thing. And he did it because God knows that I would think it's a bad thing. Would God let babies die? Maybe. Maybe God's got a really good fucking reason for letting babies die. I don't know. How the hell would I know what it's like to be a God and the decisions that he's got to make and all of the information points that he has to make these decisions based upon? Don't know. But maybe this shit has to happen because that's what has to happen. Well, I don't know.
Or it's the journey, brother. Or it's the journey that that soul needs to go through for the next one. Even the most shortest life or most difficult life or the most beautiful life or the most harmonic or a mixture or worse or negative, everything is part of maybe there are souls who are willing to take any kind of role in this game and come in and experience it. We don't know, right?
That's right.
It's possible. Because pain also has its own,
benefit
thing to it. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, my grandfather used to be he used to be. Hell, he gave it to everyone in the family. We're all rock hounds. You know, if I'm not looking up at the stars for some answers, I'm looking down on the ground for some answers. And man, I pick up so many pretty rocks and stones and things I now think are organic But I think about that, where he literally would take this rock that looked like nothing and throw it in his rock tumbler. And 2 days later or whatever, he'd pull it out and it looked like an amazing jewel, And so that kind of is like us, we're here, we get all these horrible things that happen. We say, oh, they're so terrible, but we come out stronger, we come out better, we come out more full of love, more appreciative of the life we have here, more appreciative of the family and the friends we make here. And that goes back with us. That's the real shit you carry back. It definitely isn't any of this plastic crap that they teach us we need to accumulate. It's definitely more the energy changes you make to your soul, I think, through those tribulations. That is what makes it better when you go back home.
Oh, yeah. In the lowest time is when we learn. In the difficult time is when we really learn lessons, right?
Mm-hmm. I think that's what a lot of it is. It's just learning lessons.
Boredom. That's what I think. The fuck else you gonna do if you're eternal? I mean, you got a lot of time. Like when you think about the fact that this conversation that we're having right now is encoded in the numerical representation of pi. Because it's an infinite number. So somewhere along the lines, because it's infinite, this conversation is going to have been encoded. Is it not? Figure it out. we're pretty far along. We got quite a few digits in so far.
Yeah, I've been reading the Terry math lately, so that's why I was being silly. I'm not ready for that. Let's not break that one open. But
no, I just
1 times 1 might not be 1.
Yeah, I've been diving into a ton of historical stuff from all of the different ages, deep diving in. And the one thing I have learned is reading the actual documents from, be it 700 BC to, and yes, there were documents to 1400s to 1800s to, again, where we are now. I don't feel like we're any smarter. I feel like, again, there's technology, but I feel like, again, the
Dark
technology.
Ages were dark.
Oh no, the Dark Ages were beautiful. Some of the most beautiful art, some of the most beautiful architecture, some of the most beautiful buildings, literature, poetry. Again, you look at how they did their aqueducts and even different watering and sewage systems, and that we seem to think everything was horse and buggy when we play the Tartarian reset thing, but no. Again, you look at the buildings in the past that you can't recreate now. We're really sold on how smart we are when, in fact, we know how to touch numbers on a little smartphone in front of us. And if you took up the ability to read or look things up from there, again, we don't do math in our head anymore. We don't do anything. Why? You can...
we don't do anything in our head anymore.
We don't do anything anymore.
I need to remember a phone number now.
Right.
You
I
can
know,
graduate high school without knowing how to read now in this country, Vikka. That's how far we've fallen.
And we do graduate. All of them graduate high school. Like the majority of the kids are graduating
children
high school
left
without being
behind.
able to read cursive. Which, again, a lot of the stuff I've been going at, they bring the documents up and it's in cursive, and a lot of them are in the English documents I can follow, or in other Indo-European that I can pick out the words and dialogue with it. But again, these kids aren't even speaking cursive anymore, but they're brighter. But you're right, Josh, you can't, all the stuff that you hard drive and, you put on the technology, you don't have a way to replay it. I don't know how many photos and things like I've lost to digital photography, phones going bad, different things, how many documents and that I put together. Computer crashes and just the good old where you're moving one document to one place to another, and where the fuck did it go?
Well, we talked earlier today about the difference between what kids here or whoever here in the States gets for TikTok and what they actually give them in China on TikTok. It's an educational thing, apparently. Right. I didn't know that till this morning, And yet here they've got their cell phones just
Tide
loose
Pod challenge
out. Mm-hmm. And they're, dude, I couldn't even wear my calculator watch I got for Christmas one year. I was so excited. I would finally be able to get through some of that math without it taking the whole period, because I hated math in school. I was all about English classes and history classes, but math, blah. So calculator watch, I'll make it through. Mr. Johnson, you got to leave that at my desk. Wait, what? Now they can have a computer in their hand all through class. Why not?
Exactly. Yeah, they don't. If they know how to touch it into the computer, that's it. All you have to do is know how to put the symbols in. You don't have to really understand how the mechanics work. And in fact, I've looked at the new math. They're not teaching them how the mechanics work at all.
How's it like over there in Spain, Vikka? How is the schooling? Is it as bad as it is over here in the States?
No, it's really good. Yeah, it's not that difficult, right? But it's good. Spain is really chill out. Yeah,
they at least teach them to read and how to add and.
Yeah.
Here, if it hurts your feelings, then you just get a passing grade, and you get to dress like a fucking stuffed up animal. They have kids that wear like stuffed animal costumes and get to go to school like that.
There's some kids been pushing back. I can't believe I actually have to say this shit out loud, but once the administration started putting litter boxes in the bathroom, then it was just like the kids were done and they started pushing back because this is fucking stupid. Like, why not accept it? That's one of those things I'm all for. You know, if you identify as a cat, I would be more than happy to treat you like you're a fucking cat. Get the fuck outside.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
You don't belong in school.
Nope.
I didn't get to bring my dog to school.
Right. No pets in class. You're a cat, get outside, figure it out. Go catch a mouse if you're hungry. Cats don't sit and eat at the table. Cats don't Cats don't have thumbs. Just get the fuck outside and figure it out, cat. I'm like, what the fuck? I'd be more than happy.
They were trying here to, with those color things, you know, with the kids, then multicolor crap. They were trying to push it, but yeah, the parents were like, you know,
The
tried a
multicolored
lot.
crap. That's the
Yeah.
best way to say it I've heard yet, Vikka. Thank you.
I swear I gotta get a
That was great.
screenshot of Ab Rastafarian's. Oh my god. He says, at Ian, I caught Keith Richards smashing my mom when I was young in the 1970s.
Dude, that's epic. That is epic. I had highlighted something Ab said way up top earlier, and I've lost it now. I don't see the highlight anymore. But yeah, I've been really getting to enjoy Ab's commentary. Thank you for being here, Ab.
Yeah, Bill Antano mentioned his sister's a English teacher in Spain, and I think she'll probably agree with like what we're saying on here too. I know that I follow different people that are, you know, bloggers from different countries. There's Billy from Germany who went to college here and was explaining what the education was like in Germany compared to here and jumping in. And, you know, she said until you get to postgrad, none of the things they were doing were university level in Germany. And yet we have the most expensive education system. And yet the classes she was taking, again, were not, she would say, university level until she got to postgrad. I find that alarming. I shut everybody up with that.
Identifies as a peanut, he says.
Well, it's gone. And Vikka, we went way off track. I need to find a way back.
You know, you can't even really bring snacks to school anymore. You know why that is?
Allergies.
Peanut oil in the vaccines. But when your immune system...
You mean in the snacks vaccine? What are you saying?
When your immune system learns to identify and reject peanut oil early on, for some reason... Because Josh isn't a doctor, nor is this medical advice. humor, joke, because we're just kidding around here. Now you can't have peanuts in the classroom.
Yeah.
No more peanuts in the classroom, because some little schmuck might have a peanut allergy. The dust from the peanut might go into the air and fall upon his frail little skin, and he'll go into anaphylactic shock, and there's another dead kid in the school because you didn't have sense enough to keep peanuts out of the classroom. And now little Josh identifies as a peanut. What the fuck are we gonna do?
I see, you're a peanut.
I'm a peanut. Just you gotta get me out of the classroom.
I'm not allowed to go to school.
Come on, we have to have the healthiest kids ever. I mean, we vaccinate against everything. So because we vaccinate against everything, you have to logically conclude that our children, this generation of children, are healthier than any generation has ever been in history, because that would only make logical sense if you follow what they say. I know, I'm trying to remember. Peanut butter and jelly was the mainstay of the 1970s in elementary school, 60s and 70s. I don't remember anybody.
80s too.
Dude, that was my
Allergies.
breakfast. Every Saturday, Mom would sleep in, and I would grab a big old jar of peanut butter, a big old spoon, and a glass of Ovaltine. And it was like, that was pure energy. I was ready for the day. I didn't even need lunch. I'd go through lunch and come home for supper if they were lucky. When the street lights came on, I'd finally go home. Oh, these kids.
My grandfather was allergic to bee stings, and there's a book called The Taste of the Blackberries where somebody died of bee stings, but I don't think I ever knew anybody, even a child, that was allergic to anything like that.
Almost everybody's allergic to bee stings. Almost everybody.
Just to different extents.
Yeah, most people just don't die. Like, that's why mosquitoes are such a pain in the ass, because people are allergic to that Fucking mosquito bite. I used to be real allergic to mosquito bites when I was a kid. Like, you know, the big shooter marbles? Mosquito would bite me. It would swell up the size of one of those fucking shooter marbles.
That's how my brother was. Yep, same way. He would like.
I'm allergic
to fucking knots.
Chiggers. Chigger.
Even the bees. Even the bees. Some people are allergic to bees, and they have to go to the hospital if they get bit.
But I think that's why it stings. I think that's the point of that stinger, is it creates that anaphylactic reaction. It's a histamine reaction in the body, and that's what makes it sting, is it's in that poison and stuff, because it's creating that allergic reaction.
I get a bit a lot here.
Yeah. I think poison ivy is the same way. Most people, to varying degrees, are allergic to poison ivy. Poison ivy is really bad for some people. You know, it starts to get in your face and your eyes and into your ears and just kind of keeps going. It can get really fucking dangerous for some people.
My grandmother could pull it up by the handful. Dude, you're lucky. My grandma could pull it up by the handful. If anytime we found it doing cleanup in my uncle's land, we'd go get grandma because she could deal with it.
There was only one
my
time.
uncle went to the hospital because he got in smoke from a fire. We didn't know had some in it, dude. And it sent him to the hospital. Shit. Oh, he was messed up.
That's the only time I ever got poison ivy was when we were burning it.
That's
and it
worst.
wasn't like in my lungs or anything like that. It was on my arm. I got a cut on my arm. And maybe it was from, there was a lot of poison ivy on that barn. We were ripping it down. And yeah, I remember getting just a little bit of patch right here, a little calamine lotion for like 4 or 5 days, and boom, it was gone. So it didn't spread or nothing on me. But no, I can pretty much roll around in the stuff and I'm fine.
Well, that's the rub, is it doesn't ever really spread. Like, it goes where the oil goes, but like, it's not
as long as you don't scratch it, you're fine.
Well, even if you scratch it, that scratching isn't going to spread it.
Well, if you get those, that's what I'm saying, those pus pocket things.
Pop those things and they spread.
And then it spreads that oil around.
It spreads it. Yep.
That's what I always thought. That's why I learned.
My cousins used to chase me with that to get it on me when we would all be playing as kids, and they'd get it, and I wouldn't have it. They would, fuck them.
Come on, Vikka, any pox or things you want to tell us about?
About what?
Chicken
pox or.
So you think those protective white blood cells, Walter? Those white blood cells is what's going to spread the poison ivy?
Dude, there's no denying what happened.
I think it's the oil.
Reality of it.
I think it's the oil, but I don't think the oil stays there in the skin, keep continuing to produce it under the skin into little boils. I don't think it's like becoming an oil production machine where now under the skin there's going to be more little oils coming out. I think
we're turning into creatures.
Pox, those would be pest nodules, Vico. We're having such a good discussion.
But I think it's just white blood cells, though. I don't think it's the oil there under the skin that's coming out, because that's what it would need for it to create more of that reaction. Like, the oil is what it is. That's why it's so hard and why you need special soap to get it off. It's like a Knodel. That's what it's like.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably absolutely right that it won't go away, and that's what's being
it doesn't just
spread
like
along
wipe
with
off
that
or
goo.
Wash
Yeah,
off.
I'll give you that. Josh, you're not supposed to be giving medical advice. Josh is not a doctor.
Exactly.
Joke,
comedy.
The fluid that leaks from blisters does not spread the rash. Poison ivy dermatitis is not contagious and cannot be passed from person to person. However, urushiol can be carried under fingernails and on clothes. If another person comes in contact with urushiol, he or she can develop.
Billintano was already on the urushiol. Look at you, Billing. Go ahead. What's up, Benny boy?
So, what do you guys have that kind of stuff over there, Vikka? It's an ivy that spreads along the ground, and it has an oil in it. And when you get that on your skin, it causes a rash with these red, like, little blisters that form, and they're real itchy.
Oh yeah, if I see some image, maybe I will recognize. But yeah, there is a lot of weeds here around. It's crazy stuff, like even stinging nettles. I also take the stinging nettles by my hand. Yeah, so in Mediterranean, here there are amazing herbs, and for forage, this is medicine. This is real medicine.
Yeah,
this is real food.
Absolutely.
And it's also one of my real study, right? Not in a university, like, self-study of plants, of medicinal plants and psychotropic plants and every kind of plants, right? So that's one of my interests. Yeah, this looks familiar. Oh, yeah.
And it causes something kind of like that.
It's
Oh, yeah.
Whereas a stinging nettle is
leaves of 3 will fuck up me. No, I can't remember the right thing to say.
Leaves of 3, let it be.
Let it be.
I'll take poison ivy over stinging nettle. I don't know, Walter, Zack, if you guys have ever run through a patch of stinging nettle before.
That's horrible
Shit that makes you want to die. I mean, luckily it's not as long lasting as poison ivy, but it's pretty fast acting and it's intense.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's good for circulation. It's very good for circulation. The tea is amazing for diuretic problems, or even to have your diuretic system clean. This is amazing. Also detox, blood detox, This is free food, free medicine for everybody.
He's talking about the nettle tea. Stinging nettle.
Yeah, I'm speaking about the stinging nettles. Don't take the poison ivy.
Not the poison ivy, yes.
Yeah, but don't do any of this because we're not doctors,
That's
nor
right.
do we play any on Iron Media.
You see that guy's munching there, the nettles in the corner.
Right.
Yeah, there is in US. There's a place where they have a competition who eats the biggest stinging nettles, and they eat it just go on and they start eating.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Ugh.
That's food for the military people when they're in the forest. It's for survival.
Right.
Clover, dandelion, wood sorrel.
Mustard.
Are my 3 favorites. Yeah. Those ones I find everywhere, though. I find those growing in gravel. You'll see a plant growing out in the middle of a gravel parking lot, and it'll be one of those 3 most likely. A dandelion, the clover, the wood sorrel. Yeah, those things they just grow everywhere. I tell people, if you remember those 3 plants, at least in this country, you shouldn't go hungry, ever. There's always a whole big giant garden out there for you to pick from. You walk on it every day.
Oh, yeah. There's another plant called plantain.
Plantain.
It's amazing. Plantain. Also weed, but amazing. Also food plus medicine. Also it grows wild everywhere.
Oh. Plantain.
Not this one. Not this one. It's a plantain. I don't know if it's in...
There you go. Those?
Yeah, this is one. Yeah. Plantain. This is the one.
I've seen that. Yeah,
They grow. Yeah, it's very common. It's very common. This plant is amazing.
That's one I didn't know. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. These are all over the place here.
I have that one all over my yard. Yeah, tell me about that plant. Tell me how amazing that is, because I have it.
Oh, yeah. This is we call it a person who cleans your house, in a way. So this thing is like cleaning your house. So what it does is this have antibacterial, antifungal, and anti-inflammatory properties, this one, even for snake bites. So all this crap that they made in 2020 with all their magic, right? I don't even want to use the word.
Yeah, the magic.
The cold and the cough, the cold and the, So just drinking a couple of tea of these leaves, take the most smaller leaves because they have the most concentration of that, and making a tea 2 times a week. It's going to clean the whole system. It's going to take out any possibilities of cold or anything related to that things, right? Amazing. People also make stir fry. It's a magical plant. It's a magical plant, yeah. If you drink it before winter, you're not going to get anything. You're not going to get anything in the winter. Sorry?
I think you clicked on something else while you were on the getting rid of their thing, because you're looking at some kind of lotion bar right now, Zack.
You have to look for the plant, just the plant directly from the ground.
Yeah, there
That's
we
the
go.
best way. The images that you put before of the plant. So yeah, it's a wild weed. People just take it out, but this is amazing medicine, free. For snake bite, you have any cut, you have any insect bite, you have a bee bite, just take that leaf, break it, chew it, and just put it. It's
Yeah,
gonna
that's what
take
it
out.
says right there. Yeah.
It has many properties. Yeah, absolutely. So imagine it's so potent even
Wow,
for
it's
It
good
has
for
this-
poison ivy rash and mosquito bites. Right there, it says. That's crazy. We were just talking about that.
This is
Even
one
the-
of those terrible weeds that they have you pull out so you can have healthy,
Oh,
healthy
absolutely.
grass
Get
that
rid
has
of
no
that.
nutrients and
That's going to make your grass look ugly.
in the cities
Yep.
that, yeah, no nutrition or anything whatsoever. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, we
Go
have
ahead.
these all over.
Oh yeah, I also
yeah.
have a lot.
Whoa,
So even if you
it'll
have a
pull
cut,
splinter.
That's great. I know. I just read that. That's amazing.
That's
And you-
wild.
if you have a cut, you do the same thing. Take a leaf, chew it up,
Right.
and put it on the cut. It's gonna, in few hours, the cut is.
Yeah, it says it even pulls all the dirt
It's
and
even
germs.
talking about, right, it talks about venomous bites on the next one. That's awesome, man.
Oh yeah, even you can make a infusion and even
A
put
tea,
it without a
right.
tea, or you can even put it for eye infection. Make it like without sugar. If you make a infusion, you can use for the eyes. It's amazing. It's also food. The birds also love those seeds, and
Yeah, it
you
says
just
it's
soak those seeds.
nutritious.
Mm-hmm.
Great bulk laxative.
Oh yeah, it's the best is for this. It's before the winter. Few weeks if you drink, and even if you feel like a little bit of the weather, drink a 2 infusion of this, and everything is gone.
Yeah, it says it's helped
Nice.
good for kidneys and bladder disorders.
Liver,
Wow, this thing is
mhm.
amazing
This-
plant.
So imagine that just one of it, Zach, right? It's so much of nature medicine is right in our feet, and we want to be going and looking in those, trying to buy those pills and.
Hmm. Most of it's oil that's disguised to act like these
Synthetics.
plants. Yeah.
Well, there was a gentleman back in the day who made sure to create a campaign that eradicated home medicine. I believe his name was Satan. No, I'm kidding. We all know who it was.
No,
with the
that's right.
Rockefellers.
Yeah. No, it's really ironic the way that they sell herbal medicine as being like not organic or not. I mean, not organic is not the correct term on it, but not scientific even because of the fact that again, all medicine when they look to come up with new medicines, where are they? They're in the rainforests and all the different places in nature looking for it on the remedies. This is what they do, and then they synthesize once they get the batch on it. Now getting it, I don't know about you, but getting it like fresh in there as opposed to them doing the chemical molecule. But then they somehow say that the natural part is all of a sudden stupid and hippie-ish or not intellectual, which makes no sense at all. Vikka, I wanted to ask you, are you familiar with the sugar gum tree?
Sugar gum, is it a sap or something?
It's a tall tree. It's got a star-like shaped leaf, and it's got these little balls that are terrible. They're little spiky balls. Zach's going to bring one up on the screen for you. There's the little star leaves on it.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
and they're green.
Yeah.
We have these all over, and they're considered a nuisance plant here that you need to get rid of. You're not allowed to plant them because they're nothing but a nuisance. But what's interesting at that is when we talk about where plants come from, like the biggest antivirals and that they make come from
Exactly.
this tree, and this tree actually the antiviral is stronger than Tamiflu or your strongest antivirals out there. We've got some of these in our yard, and I thought it was interesting that I thought it kind of looked like the little virus
Yeah.
going around, the little balls, the shape of them. But I thought that was interesting that when we did have the so-called thing going around, that these trees produce probably like 3 times more than they normally do on these beds. That making tea out of them is like a natural cure to what they threw at us. Nature is smart.
Oh yeah, it looks very similar to the castor oil, the seeds that the castor oil is made from. Looks very, very similar. Yeah.
This one, they don't tell you anything about it. Again, when buying them, other than no, you can't plant them, you can't put them in. They'll again take over. They're invasive and they're totally nuisance. And they actually, even for people that have the trees out there, you can pay to have them fertilized, or what was it, sterilized once a year. They go out when they're getting ready to seed, and they get injections.
Just at the perfect time, and they inject the tree with some
birth
hormone,
control,
and it stops it from producing those gumballs. They do it in the cities a lot because they make a mess.
With this spiky stuff, but I just wondered if you're familiar with that, because I've like gone on a deep dive on that plant. But look at the look at the medicinal things on it, and again, I find it interesting. These things that are so medicinal are getting so bad raps and so bad.
Oh yeah, and also food, right? Also purslane. You know about purslane, Zack, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Purslane is amazing. That's omega-3, free omega-3. You know, people are eating blue fish or blue cheese or, you know, another expensive fish for getting omega-3, you know. And here you have free omega-3 here growing in the ground. You can eat it like just raw as a salad. You can stir fry. Amazing benefits.
I did the bad thing, Zack. I don't know if you know, but purslane that he's talking about, the moss roses that we got that are companion planting with the peas that I like so much, those are in the purslane family, but they're non-edible.
This is not this one is not the purslane. This is another. I don't know how it's in English.
It's PUR. It's purslane. PURSLANE. And it's part of the, like with the porticula, is part of the purslane family.
It grows grown near to the ground. Yeah, and very.
Oh yeah, we have this
fleshy.
stuff all over.
This is also free
out of
food.
The garden beds.
Yeah, free food, free medicine, amazing stuff.
They would tell you
superfood.
First page, there's that.
Huh?
There, look to the right. It tells you when to eat it, 6 to 8 weeks.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of the plants. What was it about North Korea they were saying, Cami? In the spring, they have lots of food because all the wild edible plants are edible then, but then they all turn poisonous in about 6 to 8 weeks. In June.
They said beginning spring is the time to die because they were going through the cycle in North Korea. And your cycle would start with like late spring, where there's these plants and it's great. You can graze and get everything, and it's your best eating time. But at June, it starts getting scarce because a lot of the plants start turning poisonous. So that's that golden time. Because again, this is somebody from North Korea talking, saying that a lot of people, your early spring is the time to die. That by then there's no rots even around. And then when the first plants come up, it's wonderful. You're in heaven. You're picking them right from the ground, and there's so many things you don't have to worry because it's in June that things go poisonous. I was like, well, that's again. I learned something from all different sources that I don't, expect to get. Like again, I didn't think of in June a lot of plants go poisonous, but I did know like the poke and things. I just didn't put it through there, but seeing it as a culture to think that way. I'm working on planting the things that don't go poisonous in our little garden.
Gonna have lots of raspberries this year. I can't wait.
Oh yeah, I saw your garden, brother. It's amazing, beautiful.
If you put in porticula, you'll see it's a.
Bless you.
In the purslane family, and we planted some of that yesterday. It's one of my very favorites, but it's ornamental. It's not edible, but it is a good companion plant that it draws things in. Other people know it as moss roses. It's beautiful little flowers that look almost fairy-like. That's what our neighbors looked at it. Zack was outside, not there, and I'm not running it, but our neighbors looked at it and said, what are those? They don't look real. And it's like, but they are. They're little fairy flowers, but they're part of the purslane family. It was one of the things they're the ones that you don't eat, though. They were like, don't eat it, and toxic to dogs. So.
Oh yeah.
When you were talking about with the time frame, reminds me of something they call poke salad. I grew up. Well, I didn't grow up, but I lived for a long time in a place called Blanchard. Blanchard in North Louisiana was the poke salad capital. But you have to do poke salad at a certain, like the weed itself is, if you wait too long, it can definitely make you sick, vomit, poison, and all that stuff. Yeah, it's definitely a time frame of when to do it the right way. And how you cook it matters
super
as well.
energetic too.
You have to boil it.
Mm-hmm. The
Flash
way you
boil
cook
it
it
real
matters. Yep.
How these people figured out these different steps, and it's like not only do the older people talk about eating it every spring, it's like an excitement. Like we can't.
Well, yeah, the Native Americans
can't wait to get our verb.
They used to use the pulp berries once they turned, once the berries started growing, the poison was in the plant. And they would take the berries to induce vomiting. They knew that if I took this many berries and you weighed this much, it won't kill you, but it's going to make you throw up and get all that other stuff out of you. So yeah, there's so much medicinal plants.
Pull up some poke for everybody there in chat. They're all asking about, is it different than the berry and all that? Just show them the different stages real quick, Zach.
Yeah, you'll recognize it.
I'm outside. I'll be back in a minute.
I'll do it.
And the best time, I think, to eat or take is when it's growing. Vegetable, fruits, medicine, flowers, roots, berries.
Yeah, not when it's trying to reproduce and all that kind of stuff. Once it starts to reproduce and stuff, yeah, if you can, that's why they say those microgreens are so good for you. When you eat just the sprouts, the little baby sprout plants, they give you all this good stuff. They're expensive. They're like $20 a pound over here. They're probably more than that now.
So there's the leaves. That's some berries, I guess, that have grown dark. I never see them. I usually see them more like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I usually
and
see
more
them real
dense.
dark.
Yeah, there we go. Like that, more dense. Yep. That's what I'm seeing usually. And something we always talked about in the Poke Salad Festival is that while most people do make a salad, L-A-D, it's actually salad is the real name of it. And I can't remember why. Something to do with, I don't know, an old, maybe a cooked salad is called a salad.
French
I don't know,
something or other.
Maybe that's it.
Look that
So,
up.
Walt, is that you driving?
It is. What you want to say?
Will you type in the word or the letters P-O-R-T-U-L-A-C-A?
P-O-R-T? Oh, you lost me. What?
Portulaca. P-O-R-T-U-L-A-C-A. It's part of the purslane. What he was showing is really...
This?
Yep. That's just very pretty.
Shout out to Love Song for Bobby Long.
This is the non-edible side of his plant, but it's again extraordinary. They look like little fairy family flowers. So just thought we would share them. Okay.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Good ground cover.
Oh, this article is so deceiving. It says,
Uh-oh.
poke salad, a dish made with the cooked leaves of the poisonous pokeweed plant. Well, it's not poisonous when they're eating it. It would be if they let it mature, but you don't eat it. Yes, exactly, Josh.
Before we jump over with the plants topic, I just wanted to mention that the stinging nettle is a blessing for people, anybody who's having problem with kidney stones and anything diuretic, right? It's
really
amazing.
Interesting.
Amazing. It's
I've
a
had
blessing.
a few kidney stones.
Oh yeah, you start drinking.
My go-to now with kidney stones is like a cup of olive oil and a good squeezed lemon juice, and that has been a miracle for me.
And you
the
have to
last
add
couple.
beer
But that's
to
my
that.
personal experience. I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on fucking tip. I mean, on what are we on? YouTube.
Wherever we are. You know, I don't like salad dressing on my salads 99% of the time. Unless it's one that I make myself. And if I make it myself, it's going to be... the salad will be spinach leaves. And the dressing is just olive oil and freshly squeezed lemon. That's it. Just olive oil and lemon. That's the only salad dressing that I like on my salad.
Good stuff, man.
Maybe some salt and pepper, but typically not.
Oh, yeah. And Walt, as you say, right? Lemon, oil, and then you have to add beer to that also. So what it does, it has its own function, because the beer helps dilate the track. Right, the oil helps.
Really,
it
that's a new
smoothen.
level. I didn't know that. Nice.
Yeah.
Man.
So what you have to do, make 100 ml of each. You mix together, and you may take 50 ml every morning. A combination of these three, all organic if it's possible. It's gonna clean up the whole track. And apart from that, stinging nettles a couple of times a week is gonna. You're never gonna be hearing again from those.
Nice. I will definitely look around my neighborhood here. I live in a very rural area. I shouldn't have any trouble finding some.
Awesome.
Hello, Michael Loomis. Just wanted to say that.
Oh, there are some amazing people in the chat here. Big shout out to everybody there.
Big shout out to everybody there in chat. I see you, Disorganized Productions. You should be right at home here, where all of our productions are disorganized.
Oh yeah, it's Rob. Is Rob. Big shout out to.
Nice.
He's also having an amazing podcast called Disorganized Productions. I was also on his
Nice.
podcast. He had some amazing guests. He also had David Weiss, Mark Sargent, Sean Hibler, right? And he has an amazing lineup of people, amazing content. Big shout out to you, Rob.
What's up, Rob?
And to the other amazing people in there.
Yeah, there's a big pile.
Absolutely.
You've drawn quite the crowd.
Nice group of folks. Yes, absolutely. I have definitely subscribed over there to Disorganized, and we'll be digging deep. Thank you. And most likely reaching out, Rob. You know, in a month or 8 or 20. So we do tend to get a little lost at times.
So, Vikka, how much of an impact did religion have in you growing up?
For me, religion is a very... I love all the religion, I could say, right? Because I study all of them because I want to see what each and everyone is saying. The same thing when we research something, we have to see every side of it to analyze and conclude, or so for me it's just different ways of saying the same thing. All God is one, or there is only one God. For me, there is no difference in that, right? I see there's a lot of division with religion, in race, politics, everything, right? But the most important is the religion, because there where the people get really passionate, right? Nobody's wrong, right? Everybody has the same right to find their own way to the Creator. Because if we see all the cosmology that existed on this realm of we know of, they all are saying the same thing.
I'm pretty sure the Hare Krishnas are wrong. I'm just saying.
Maybe.
No, I'm joking. But I'm pretty sure there are people out there that are not taking it for what it's meant to be, because it is so easily corruptible. I think the message is inherently corrupt. I think there's a truth that they're all trying to convey, but we as humans know that when you try to convey your truth, or a truth that you think you understand, not everybody's going to catch it and receive it the same way. Witches are burned at the stake. I mean, that we can go through history and look at the people that just, you if you go against the norm, the norm pushes back traditionally. I don't know where I was going.
Depends on how
with
much noise you make going against the norm, I believe. That's why there's so many secret societies, because they might be going against the norm and they don't want to get found out.
What about the idea that, because I would go more with that, there's pretty much a path to get to where you're going through any of the religions. In other words, when you look at things, people read into things differently, is exactly what you're saying. So I would think that within any religion is going to produce the best and the worst of people. And that it's, again, what you read into it and how you live your life and the choices you make.
Oh yeah, the institutions. I am against the institutional part of the religion, because they all are contaminated. They all are manipulated.
Yes.
That's any religion we could speak about, right?
So
what the
I agree
seeds of it
100%,
might have been pure and great,
Mm-hmm.
but generally when people get involved and money, and it turns into a whole new thing.
Yeah, see, I think here's
Go
a
ahead,
better
Vic.
example. I think that, say, the Christian Bible, I think, is trying to convey a lot of truths. I think even the story of Jesus, in my opinion, could probably be conveying a lot of truths. And there was an absolute need for a new covenant. And there is something about the story of Jesus that allows humans to, another way for humans to traverse the afterlife that didn't previously exist. And maybe it's, I don't know, I don't want to get too caught up in the weeds here, but I think there's a certain truth that's trying to be conveyed through each religion. But when you talk about the Christian Bible especially, there's that truth as there are inherent truths that sort of come out of there. But then that can be controlled and manipulated in order to gather the masses. But then you have things that spin off from that. Things that get sick and twisted and manipulated, where pretty soon now it's all about stand up, kneel down, stand up, kneel down, stand up, kneel down. 4 hours later, your knees are sore. Oh, look, here's a little wafer. Have some wine. Kick back on whenever, and we'll all...
Ignore the finger in the pulpit.
Right. The finger... all sorts of places. The dead baby bones up there on the altar that you're all worshiping to, and the Latin phrases, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think there are religions that are not right. I think I could look at that and see that that is a pretty inherently corrupt and twisted version of what is already an inherently subjective story of a universal truth. Jesus Christ, never mind. Just ignore me. I think I just need to...
Oh yeah, brother, it's the way we see it. Maybe people are trying to find Jesus Christ in a church or outside. But what is the real teaching of Jesus or any other religion? Is to find that Christ within, right? I see a problem is that everybody's looking for salvation outside. It was not Jesus who was on the cross. It was you who are in the cross. You are the one who need to salvate yourself from this 3D matrix, right? We were hexed in here in this three-dimensional cube that when you open it up is the cross, right? If we go to all cosmologies, the real teaching of this is to find that Christ within the oil, the anointed one, right? Oil is Leo. Like Leo is the sun, right? As above, so below. Be Leo, right? If you really dig in, it's all about finding the Christ within. That nobody can ignore that message within. Like for sure, there are people are not getting it by being with so materialistic and trying to define something that is undefinable, including Christ or any other cosmology you want to speak about, right? Because we are humans, we want our creator to be a human, right? That's a problem. The materialism, the materialistic, trying to put everything to define is the biggest problem in the world right now. That's why there is a problem with the race, religion. Everybody wants to be right now. Everybody wants to see the differences, not the similarities, right? That is the problem. Because once we understand that we are not materialistic, that we are light as the creator, we are part of that creator, that fractal, we will understand that this is nothing. We didn't bring anything. We're not going to take anything. We are just part of here to learn and evolve and be the best of us in everything we do. Just my take, brother.
Nope, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like we were talking about earlier, why do bad things happen and this and that? Well, you know, some of these people that you may consider a bad person, like some people might look at a crackhead, right, and be like, that's just a bad person. But they could be the nicest crackhead on earth, you know. They may not be good to themselves and their body and their temple, but to everybody else, they're always real nice. They never robbed anybody to get crack or this and that, you know.
I don't think that example holds up very well, Zach.
No, probably not.
Crackhead.
Well, let me ask you this: you've obviously been exposed to a lot of different cosmologies, theologies, and having myself traveled quite a few different paths, reincarnation, past lives kept coming up in all of it. In every version of what I've looked into, it just keeps coming up. And so during this last period where I've dug deep into those theories and those ideas and really looked at it from, okay, we're here to learn. And I pass on and I go back and I'm like, wait, did I learn enough? I want to go back there. But if I'm coming back here to learn again, bringing all that knowledge with me makes a whole lot more sense than guilting me into coming back here and wiping it clean. And it turns into this whole treading the same shit over and over, same karmic crap you're dealing with till you figure it out. I get all that. But doesn't it at times feel like perhaps this system has been hijacked and that we don't have the freedom we should have to be able to evolve our soul to dude, I've dealt with a lot of things in this place that make me know there are things walking among us that are not fucking human and they're not here for our good. I mean, that's just period. That's a fact for me. So again, you talked about the aliens and they've been here forever. So I'm spinning out here, but you get what I'm saying. It feels like at times there's something here keeping us locked into this fucking cycle of pain and guilt and Monsters Incorporated. What do you think about all that?
When you come into a game, you're not going to start from a level that is in between. You have to start from level 1, right? Every time you enter a new game. So that's looks like part of the plan. Whoever is bringing in here and making us play this.
So you're a gamer, I take it. I do, man. Look, that idea too for me, that makes sense too. Yeah, I'm here to have an experience. Okay, so I've broken up into all these pieces, and I got all these different versions of the one, and we're all doing shit, you know. But
we know, right?
There is just something about an evolved soul that wouldn't do certain things to another soul's progress. To me, I'm here to help every piece of me get back to source in as pure a state as I can, not in a terrified state or a fucking painful state or a guilty state or I don't know. You know, my God isn't about guilt. My God isn't about sin. And I don't know. I'm rambling. Go ahead.
But you are here to, like every one of us, to manifest. We are here to manifest maybe in some stage of our life, we find that purpose, right? Or it's a accumulation of purpose during life that creates the whole, right? So you are just vibrating here as a part of the divine. And yeah, there are questions that who am I? Why am I here? Right? Why is everything? Right? Even some your families or the people, right? You might like, who are these people? Right? So yeah, it's a lot of questions, right? Comes in during life, and we think about it. But sometimes we are just like watchers. We are here just to observe, because things we cannot change, right? Even though we want to, sometimes we want to control everything and have everything in control. But there are going to be time and situation that you are just going to be an observer. We are just observing. Maybe the creator is observing to us. He's having those experiences, right? Or whoever is bringing up here. Yeah, brother.
That was a hard lesson for me. That there's some things, no matter how much effort and love and support you throw at it, you're not going to help this person. This person doesn't want to be helped. They love the effort that you put in, but the end goal isn't for them to stop doing these drugs. That's not their end goal. They don't want to stop doing the drugs. They don't want help to stop. They want the empathy and the sympathy and all the stuff that comes along with it. But their end goal is not to stop doing the drug. It's just to get that empathy for a little bit and then go find the drug again and get high. I had to deal with that with one of my best friends of my whole life, my cousin for 32 years. He was my best friend. And one day I had to say, and he was just, besides being the most negative person I ever knew, we were like polar opposites. And that isn't what turned me off. It was he never admitted that he had a problem with this stuff. He would, he went to rehab like 3 times, but he would come back and then, he'd be right back at it within a week. One time he made it like 30 something days. I was proud of him. But I had to stop talking to him altogether, completely. And it was one of the hardest things I ever did in my life.
This is why addiction requires rock bottom. Because if there's even a chance that there's someone out there that you might still be able to manipulate and use into getting whatever it is you want, then you probably will in the depths of your addiction. So most people need to drop out of your life and keep you at a distance, because that's what it's going to require. That's why it's called rock bottom, because you're just down there by yourself. You've already fucked over everybody in your life.
Yeah, I was always his crutch. Sorry, Vikka, go ahead.
Oh yeah, as you mentioned, brother, it's a part of the experience, right? It's part of their journey that they have to go through. And even for the people who are around, right? As Walt mentioned, could be also part of the reincarnation that we have to have. Even a pet could be a part of the reincarnation that is supposed to be with us here for that limited time. Or a friend, or an experience that somebody's having in front of us, right? And also, especially...
We just talked about wanting to come back as a pet, as like the next reincarnation, like a pet, not a lost stray dog somewhere, but like a well taken care of pet. That would be like the ultimate.
I want to come back as Hank next.
Exactly.
See the life through his eyes.
I was just having this conversation with Dixie today about our dog Layla, because there's something about Layla that I've always thought is uniquely human in her eyes when you look at her. Like when you look at her, she looks like a human trapped inside a dog. She looks like she should identify as a human, because there's a human trapped inside that dog brain somewhere. And
I could see that.
And just sort of understanding she had today with Shibby, and just, I mean, and there was a lack of understanding too. She was like sitting almost on top of Shibby and just barking at the new stranger in the house. But she was just like sitting there on the bed next to Shibby, like, nope, you're not coming close. Nope, I don't know why you're here, but this, whatever's happening now doesn't need to involve you. And just, I mean, there's just something, because Esme was not that way. And there's something uniquely dog about Esme versus something uniquely human about Layla that is just really strange and interesting, that I've always thought. So strange.
Oh yeah, it's also about consciousness, like they are conscious. They're conscious, like anything, even from the nature, if you would take and try to, like a bird or an animal, you try to make it a human. It's not possible. They are born in this consciousness, and they want to be that dog or that bird or that animal or that insect, right? You just want, right? That's the beauty of the consciousness. Everything, even on a level of bacteria, you know, or a worm, they don't want to be another thing than that, what they are in this conscious that they are born, right? So that's the beauty of the creation of this creator. Everything is in their consciousness too, right? You know, so they all are part of this realm, including, you know, so.
Yeah, it's weird how
hanging out with Zack has helped me learn a lot about that concept when it takes to things I wasn't always comfortable dealing with. Like, man, spiders and I go way back with bad situations. It's only lately where I'm getting a paper towel and letting him walk up and go and taking him outside instead of going and squish, you know. I've had to learn a new respect for something I'm terrified of. And taking that even further now, where I'll see a freaking roach, or I'll see a silverfish, or I'll see a ant pile in the yard, and I'm like, man, I got to relocate that. I don't want to kill them, you know. It's come to that. I hate cutting the grass, you know. It's gotten that connected, I guess.
Oh yeah, and it's the way of the nature. Yeah, Zack, brother.
No, go ahead. I was just saying that's not a bad thing, Walter. I know it sucks, but yeah, I have that idea all the time.
No, I thank you for that. Trust me, that's what I meant. I wasn't coming at it as, oh, it sucks. It's just like, yeah, an awareness level that's even more intense. So, yeah.
You know what did it for me was that camera, that P610 that I bought. It just really made those little tiny bugs look so big with all this definition, and you could see the hairs on their legs and their eyes, and yeah, it just changed everything. It was like, wow, these things are all like really, they're like sentient. It's a living thing in there that, yeah, I forgive myself for my trespasses. I step on bugs all the time, not on purpose, but you know you do, just walking through the yard. And you can't help that. You got to walk. You got to get from point A to point B.
Oh yeah, and tilting and moving the earth, you know, for the gardening. Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I ask for forgiveness when I'm done doing stuff, or usually when I first come upon a new place I've never been. First thing I do is say, "Excuse me, I'm sorry," to all the plants that I step on and all the bugs that I might crush on my way through here. You know, it's one of those things, I don't say it out loud, you know, but that's one of the thoughts that is always in my head is, I'm sorry for the damage I'm about to cause. I mean, could you imagine a giant, you know, 500 feet tall or hell, a mile tall, come walking through your town and just crush a few buildings and houses, and one of those houses was yours? That would suck. But it's not the giant's fault. He didn't see you down there. He had no clue. You know? So yeah, I don't feel super bad about it, but I don't go out looking for things to kill anymore. It's never... I quit fishing a long time ago because of this. But now even the bugs, that camera changed everything. The macro, like, yeah.
Oh yeah,
So-
brother. As you say, Zach, even the words, you don't have to say word. Even the more important than the word is the vibration. Even if you're saying it inside, that vibration is reaching much more far than the voice itself.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you said, we're creating this place where, just by our thoughts, we have effects on this place.
Oh yeah, I was literally speaking on my last podcast too, right, about this consciousness, that if people are vibrating on higher than 200 frequency, it neutralizes the negative manifestations in this world. So we human, individually and as a collective, have a lot of power in those vibrations. Like as I mentioned, it's not only of having positive thoughts and change we want to see in this world. We have to vibrate on that for it to function. And one person vibrating higher than 200, so you have from higher than 200 to 700. So if a person is vibrating on 700, that one person vibrating on that 700 is neutralizing more than 40 million negative manifestation vibration of this realm, the people who are trying to manifest this, right? So imagine that. So it's really important for each and every one of us as a person and as a collective to send those vibrations to see the change and the positive and whatever we want, then other than what is happening right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I heard you guys also speaking about energy, frequency, and vibration. Also, Cami. Yeah, it's also an amazing topic.
Sorry. No, we totally got lost. I was just thinking again back to religion, but churches specifically, and the power of groupthink. And when you get that vibration and that group and the more people and just, I think we're seeing it at concerts and some weird stuff going on at concerts with energy waves and some just weird things going on there. I think that the energetics can get pretty crazy, especially when you get large groups of people focusing all that energy the same way. I think that's
absolutely
part of why religion is so harnessed and so hijacked. This was something I wanted to get into on our morning show, and we just didn't have time to do it. And I think it's an ideal time. But it's one of these subjects that is completely benign and asinine and goes with the mainstream beer-drinking sports ball watchers.
Home field advantage.
Because that's where you're going to find it, because you don't really hear it anywhere else, but a lot of it's got this stuff going on with fucking P. Diddy. How there's truthers not out there shouting this story from the rooftops is fucking beyond me. The people that are involved and the shit that's being talked about, I mean, depending on where you get your information, a lot of it's just sort of, yeah, maybe this is, say, black culture or rap culture, and they sort of get into that and all these, big beefy rappers actually being on the down low and secretly gay and all this weird stuff, and that's sort of where you're getting the story from. But when you think of Jeffrey Epstein and all the shit that he was into, that's what this story is. For whatever reason, whether Jeffrey Epstein killed himself or not, that sacrifice that they were willing to make of Jeffrey Epstein never happened. So now they need to make another sacrifice. So along comes their next useful idiot, is P. Diddy, because he was doing the same damn things. He was having what's called these freak-offs. And he'd get all these people as drunk as he could, as fucking drugged up as he could, and then somehow convince them to do the most fucked up thing. For, I don't know if there's a prize involved, or like cashes, or fucking trips, I don't know. But it would convince them to do the most fucked up thing. And some who would ever do the freakiest, most fucked up thing, I guess, got something. But then he would have cameras all around, all these hidden cameras. So now he's just got this room of these fucked up people, or these people just trying to do the most fucked up thing, whatever's more fucked up than the last guy. I don't know. But there's so many people involved. Like when you hear the name Britney Spears, you don't really think of it. But that conservatorship that was going on was funding a lot of these fucking freak-off parties because there was a woman involved and that's what she was doing. She would find these young Hollywood up-and-comers, and that's why they have these handlers. And the handlers will just pump them full of Valium. Here you go. Just huge mega doses. Just they're out of their mind. They're like, oh, fuck, look, out of their mind. They need a conservatorship, and they just take all their money. And now they're siphoning off these millions of dollars. And they're just pumping these kids out there, making them dance, making them sing, being their fucking dancing chicken. Just turn up the stove, whatever it is, send them off, take their money. Oh, it's the conservatorship. She's out of her mind. Sorry, she's just no good anymore. And they've been trying to do this all around. Lindsay Lohan. There are names and things going on out there that just, it confirms all the shit that we've known and have been saying, that we knew was going on with Jeffrey Epstein, but you don't really hear about. I mean, they're making a complete sacrifice of everything that he's done. The videos, the audio that has been coming out, it is fucking insane how graphic it is. The shit that they had poor little Justin Bieber doing right there in the middle of the club for everybody else to see. Fucking insane. And I just can't believe nobody else is really talking about this story, because it really is. And I think it harkens back to the power that attracts the kind of people that need that group energy that comes with being able to take that crowd and you simply put your hand in the air and you move it one direction, and a wave of fucking 300,000 souls moves this direction, and you move your hands the other way, and 300,000 souls move their hands in that direction, and there you are. And it's just like that video that was shared with the people conducting the singing. It's probably very similar, with you just moving your hands, and you are controlling the energy of all of these people. You are the power behind all of these people. And there's a certain kind of person that power attracts. I just think it's interesting. All of that group think and mass psychosis, we could even call it, that comes along. And what the energy that creates when you can get everybody focused on that one specific thing. Nuts.
Oh yeah, the eclipse was also something similar.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's that the timing is not lost on me. Yeah, I think I guess I have to go back and check Epstein, what was going on in the stars at the time. What were those stars and the wandering stars doing at the time?
And that guy could walk down the street right by you today, and you'd never even think, hey, that's Jeffrey Epstein. Little tuck here, little snip here, little tug over there. Bloop, it's a different person.
Could be a movie also.
Yeah. Oh, it's all a stage, right? The world's a stage.
Yeah, it's a sacrifice, whether it's like some big magical, deep, supernatural sacrifice or just a societal sacrifice to keep everybody not paying attention to the creation and starting of World War III. Because you've got to start the next movie production before you can wrap up this one, and you got to have the intermission sideshow to come out and dance and sing. Look what we're doing. I hear you guys talking about all that sex trafficking. Here's what we're going to do for you. You see him over there? We'll take him out for you. See? Now you're safe. Now you don't have to worry about that anymore. Strange pedophiles? Nah, we got them all out of Nickelodeon.
What do you guys in Spain over there think about the Russians? I know there's a lot. It just happened today with the whole banking systems are seizing assets. Now that we're supposedly the U.S. government is seizing Russian assets that are held up here in the United States. And then it's like 300 or 600 billion altogether, but only like 6 billion of it's here in the US. The rest is over in European banks. And yeah, what do you hear about Russia over there in Spain? Is it the boogeyman? Is your government? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Spain is really close with US. So anything US says is the same opinion for Spain.
I'm sorry.
And Germany and France.
It seems like all of Western Europe.
Yeah.
It pretty much stops at Poland.
Yeah.
And Poland just says, yeah, stick it. We're going to do things how we want to do them, and you're not going to tell us, and you're not going to make us feel bad about it. No. Look at your countries. You want us to run ours like yours. No.
Because
I've had a couple of people, one second, guys, in chat. Apparently the audio's got some issues. Josh, are you having a...
Let me turn off my camera. Maybe
issue? Yeah, I turned mine off too for that reason.
It does look like there's a bit of a bandwidth issue on
a
my
bandwidth
end.
On your end. That's what I figured is happening.
I'm seeing red
with your internet.
Yeah.
Damn
There's
it.
no telling. I did just have a storm.
And we're in some good stuff right now, man. I was about to bring up the energy of the I'll save it till we get audio back right. Has it cleared up in chat, guys? I saw Liz and Nemo, and they will let us know, I'm sure, if things are getting back to normal. Josh, internet.
Could be the hot words. Could be because of the hot words.
And we're also getting to some good stuff. I know, that's what I was thinking too. Vikka, don't you worry.
We can make fun of NASA for a couple minutes and then they'll leave us alone.
Chill out, right?
Did you hear, Vikka, that they're here in the U.S. they're using a Atlas V rocket to send up, I forget what it is, the new Starliner or whatever that I think Boeing made, one of those. But yeah, they're using a rocket from the 60s, designed in the 60s, the Atlas Vs.
It's great.
Is that not crazy? It's like, what? Why? I just saw it in an article today. It's like, oh yeah, and by the way, we're using an Atlas V rocket. I was like, now that's whoa, Atlas V. And I went back and they're like, yeah, this was used in the early 60s. So that's where we're at now, here at NASA technology.
Oh yeah, where are they going?
Nowhere.
They're not going anywhere.
Going nowhere since 1958.
They're going downrange, guys. Not
clowns coming downrange.
Right, but this is space up there. Oh no, we have to go downrange. That's where space is.
Well, don't you know it's going over the curve?
Is it better?
Earth?
Liz says it's better. She said it's better. We all turned our cameras off. That probably helped.
It's not any better.
It's not.
Not from what I'm seeing, because I'm still dropping.
Lower your bit rate in OBS, Nemo said.
I don't know if that
means anything to you, but it means nothing to me.
Nope, it's all
I'm just relaying messages.
It is all my internet, I'm sure. We just had a big storm blow through. It's
storming, Norman. I did see a big red area over you guys earlier. I forgot to ask you about it.
Yeah, I'm surprised you guys didn't hear it earlier.
I love them storms. I want to take some pictures of some storms from a distance. I've seen some really cool pictures of sprites. And have you ever heard of the elf, like the big circle halo that people have captured? Like they have the sprites that come up and they look like the little, or they call them elves, but then there's an elf, which looks like a halo on something, a structure up there.
But during the day or the night, like?
Well, above a thunderstorm. Like you'll have the lightning strike down to the earth, but it also strikes up towards something. And it looks like it maxes out right about 100 kilometers. And there's some pictures where it shows it like, looks like it's hitting something. And then like there's a halo from the strike. You know, like if you had a drone and you, well, not really, because when lightning strikes down here, well, we've never been really up close to it.
Yeah, it's more like the old energy balls from the 80s. What are they? The plasma balls?
Is this it? That red glow you're talking about, Zach?
Yeah, I've seen some pictures where it looks like a drop in water almost spreading out.
I'm going to keep looking. Because it talks about elves or whatever in this story.
Yeah,
Well,
see that kind of ring right there almost?
Yeah.
That's an illustration.
Yeah, all illustrations. I saw I
Let me go
think it
back.
was Flat Earth, Flat Water. Just put out a video on it recently.
And Zach, you heard about Proba 3?
No.
No, I don't
Eclipse
know that one
on
either.
demand. It's Eclipse on demand. It's called Proba 3.
No, wait. What?
Yeah, look for search on Google Proba 3. I have the video on my page, but if you want to just Google Proba 3 or Eclipse on demand.
Well, I remember there used to, what was the name of that one? It was Star something, where you could have shooting stars in your background.
Shooting star on demand, Walt.
And then they were saying,
so they have also
moon.
Eclipse one. They have Eclipse also. It's called Proba 3. Maybe on video, maybe you can on YouTube, maybe you'll find it, or on my page.
I can go there.
In the
Hang on,
video
let me
section.
stop sharing until I find it because it'll take me a minute because I've got so much open with my crap open. Let me go back to or heck, if you know the video you're talking about, just send it to this chat we're in at the bottom of the page there, and I'll share it there. I'm trying to find. Am I spelling the Probot right? Am I doing it right? I think
It's
Bobby was wrong.
PROBA-3.
Oh, got you.
Yeah, that one company was even saying that they could give you a full moon.
Shit, I'd give you one of them.
And they had a bunch of, it was like, you know, a bunch of different pages you can click into on the website. And then Iru, I remember, did a video on it real early. And
yeah, we
like
definitely
a few months
talked about
later,
it.
the whole website changed. And it got real basic and plain and didn't have any of the imagery and all that stuff up there anymore. It was weird.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy. Oh,
Yeah, this one, but they have also a video on YouTube that it shows that they are capable of making eclipses. And there was a recent video also on YouTube.
we got to be careful with videos. They'll definitely get us
Yeah.
if we start getting that crazy. Yeah, I'm going to just link it to
I think the
people.
third one, maybe the third one, yeah.
All right, I'll drop that one. And
Just because we had our taxes extorted doesn't mean that
whoa, that's loud.
the Royals got their cut. We didn't pay them any money.
We love our royals. So is there a king and queen in Spain? Is there
Yeah.
a royal family of Spain?
Yeah, yeah.
Are
And you
they? Do they have the right to disband the government and say we're in charge again now, like England?
Yeah,
That's
It
what I
could-
figured.
yeah.
So everybody says, "Oh, we're free. We're a free country. We're a free country," but you're really not. You're free by permission. You know? Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing here. They hit it very well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're all related cousins of some sort by blood. It's crazy when you look into it. George Washington was what? The king's second or third cousin? Something like that?
Ben Franklin was the attorney for the crown.
Yeah.
Who got paid back after the Revolutionary War, because that's what you do to the person that you just beat. You pay them money. Sure.
It's all a stage. I think there's a group that was looking for the perfect way to rule without having a revolt, and they still haven't found it. They last for so many years, maybe a couple hundred years. They say about 250, and then that type of government, whatever it may be, is going to have some type of revolt or collapse or something, and it's going to change into something else. So yeah, I think they're done looking for that now. They're just done trying to find that. They're like, you know what? Let's just start let's poison everyone. I mean, really, when you look at the food and the water and the spraying in the air and all this shit, what else could it really be other than they've given up on trying to rule without revolts, because they suck for everybody, not just the poor people. I'm sure when the mob gets mad enough and does revolt, all kinds of people get caught in the way. It doesn't matter how much money you have when the mob comes through. So yeah, I think they're done trying, it seems to me. I don't know. I don't like being all doom and gloom, but, what else would it be? I mean, fast food is crazy. The ingredients, you go look at the ingredients in these fast food companies, 95 ingredients in your bread. Bread is flour, water, and salt, and a few other, if you want to add a couple things in there. There shouldn't be 90-something ingredients in bread. That's not bread anymore. It's crazy. Now, I know over there in Europe, it's a lot different. You guys treat your food as food. Like a McDonald's hamburger in the European Union, the bread is considered cake. They don't call it bread. It's considered cake because it has so much sugar in it.
Oh yeah. It's not that. How do you say here with the food? So much contaminated, but it also is not so much clean, right?
Yeah.
You have everything for processed food and conservative, and that's for sure everywhere.
I know you guys have been fighting GMOs over there really well, though. You guys are pushing back against allowing that to be grown in your country or even using it in your food. So yeah, it's like we're an experiment. It is. It's like we're in a big petri dish. And they're just experimenting. We'll do a little bit of this over here, a little bit of that over here.
Oh yeah, these controllers have sold humanity for all these earthly goods and pleasures. That is the reason they are getting all this by controlling us and manipulating us and poisoning us, and that's how they can be in control. That is not what is supposed to be in this realm. It's supposed to be harmony, right? But it's not, because we've been, how do you say, yeah.
Well, yeah, and you can tell they know they're doing wrong, because none of them are really happy. You can see it in their faces. All their smiles are a crooked hillbilly smile. It's not a real smile. Hillary Clinton, I don't think I've ever seen her, well, I've never really seen Hillary in person, but even when she's up there, it just looks fake. It's not real. I don't think there's enough earthly pleasures to fulfill all the guilt that they feel inside. You can try and quiet down that voice on your shoulder, and some people don't have them. That's scary.
That's terrifying.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of people, they have to try to fill their lives with these earthly pleasures so much to kind of drown out that little voice that's tugging on their shoulder saying, why'd you do this? Why did you do this? You remember when you did this? Wasn't that horrible?
These people might, yeah, brother, people might not be even humans because they're so overtaken by their, that no emotion, no feeling, because you imagine the amount of people, these people unalive, right? By every step these people take, right? So there is nothing human about these people, and mostly these ones in the most powerful ones and the most powerful places, because we know it's not about money, right? They can print everything they want to print.
Oh yeah, just fire up the press. We print $1 trillion every 100 days now. Our country goes into debt more and more. Well, I bet a lot of that is still interest that we owe to people. But yeah, it's about $1 trillion every 100 days right now on average.
So if they're not human, if they're not human, what's going on? Did they change? Were they taken over? Did something get put in them? Did something take over them through some trauma-based mind control program? Is it a family thing? Is it genetics? Is it all of the above?
Yep, all could be all, as you say, brother.
That's what I think, man. All of that, right?
Family feuds, of beings who are much more evolved than us or technologically, which for us could be godly powers, which could be just technologies, right?
Right. Well, I mean, that's Clark's famous quote, science that's advanced enough would look like magic.
That's why I always come back to Harry Potter. If you just look at the way the society is set up, not, like we just said, magic is just technology that's misunderstood. So these are the children that grow up in these, secret societies or are invited into the secret societies for some reason or another. And yeah, it was really eerie when I found out that, they're invited to that school at age 11, and then you go and look into DeMolay for Freemasonry.
How old were you, Zack? Right.
11 years old. Messed up. But yeah, that whole idea that there is another society hidden within our society that we don't get to see ever. We don't get to even go down their streets. They have special streets and shops and this and that with back rooms and ways to get to it that we aren't privy to ever. And these are the magic people, right? These are the ones that, and they're not all rich either. They're born into this. It's like a knowledge type thing. It's weird. But yeah, that's kind of how the real world is. And in that movie, it happened in the book. It didn't so much happen in the movies, but in the book, this new Prime Minister of England, right? The new head guy there goes and sits in his office for the first time by himself, and all of a sudden the painting on the wall starts talking to him. Tells him, yep, we're actually in charge. We have been on this whole time. You can go about your affairs. If we need you to do something, we'll come and let you know, like, hey, this has to be done or this or that. But for the most part, we're not going to mess with you. And if everything goes accordingly, this will be the last time you ever hear from me. But just pretty much letting them know that, hey, you're not in charge. There are people above you. And when we tell you to jump, you're going to have to jump if it ever comes to it. Hopefully, you're never going to hear from me again. That's crazy to think about, you know?
Oh, yeah, brother. Maybe people won't resonate with this, but something like Avatar looks quite possible, right? That there are races who are trying to manipulate us by being on a higher understanding of this, right? In every aspect, as we spoke about technology, genetic engineering, or any kind of alchemy, or astronomy, or different kind of propulsion systems. There's so much that these people could have, and they have an upper edge to control us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they always want to stay there. Always. You know, divide and conquer. Let's have you all fighting amongst yourselves while we're sitting over here in this dark corner with a curtain pulled in front of us, and you don't even get to see us. We're not even here in your world. So you all fight amongst yourselves, do your thing, whatever, and we'll pull all the strings from behind the curtain. Believe me, it isn't people like Joe Biden or Donald Trump, or they're the actors. They're the, they're the ones up on the stage. You don't get to see people that are behind the stage running the show.
Oh, yeah, then the game is over.
Yeah. You don't see the producer and the director and, all those people. No, you don't get to see those people. You don't see them in the movie. They're not in, their name might be in the credits and this and that, but you don't see them on the actual movie. They're not there in the story, ever. I know Tarantino, he would make an appearance in all his movies, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh. So what time is it over there in Spain?
It's 3 a.m. for me.
Man, you are.
Oh, man,
animal.
thank you for rolling hard like that with us. Yes, thank you.
And it was 1 hour late because I was thinking it was 12 a.m. my time, but it was at 1 a.m. But still good. It's weekend, so I'm good, brother.
Awesome.
Right.
Well, yeah, don't feel like you have to stay on forever either. If you're getting tired, man,
if you get tired, brother, let us know.
We'll always have you come back. This has been awesome. And we haven't really even scratched the surface.
Yeah, we've not really even delved into all the good recent stuff yet. Here I am asking about your childhood like a fucking Freudian asshole.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe half an hour more, I think I could.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So, yeah, what do you, is there anything you'd like to share with people? Anything you'd like to bring up? I know we've been drilling you with lots of questions and stuff.
Oh, I love questions, brother. I love questions. That's what I've been doing from past few months, answering questions. Yeah, I've been having debates on TikTok with PhDs and with astrophysicist globers. So, yeah, I've been having a good time. So, a lot of questions, and yeah, it's good. The more we dig in, the more we try to understand, right, what the hell could be happening. That's why I was mentioning before about the eclipse on demand. There's many things like that, is because people are having technology in their hands right now with the mobile, right? So people are, or even with the eclipse, and with the moon and with the out of focus of the sun and moon being focused, even being so much mile apart in the globe, right? And then you see a bird passing and the bird is out of focus, right? So there's so many different things I've been discussing. So yeah, we could also discuss anything about eclipse.
So what is your take on it? What do you think it is going on up there during an eclipse?
Oof.
I know. My answer is always, I have no clue. I don't know. But if you had the, gun to your pinky toe.
I don't know if you saw my debate with McToon on Jeranism.
Oh, I can't stand McToon, man. I'm sorry. I can't even watch more than like 2 minutes, and I just get ugh.
He was struggling with me.
I bet he
really
was
having a hard time. He was having a really hard time. So,
that's awesome.
Yes. So I mentioned something that could be possible. We all are trying to figure out. We all have different opinions, ideas, right? But that's what it's all about, to hear every opinion and idea and try to verify in a way, right? Collaborate that it's possible or no. So I was mentioning that the North Pole is playing the part. The Rupes Nigra, Mount Meru.
I think that's where all the answers lie that I really want to know the most.
Oh yeah, and also I was on Jeranism on Speaker Corner last month, sharing about the eclipses just 2 days before the eclipse, and where I showed that Monte Urbano map, and on below on the map, if you see with the magnifying glass, you can see that they are also showing that the North Pole is involved in a way, because if we understand all the luminaries are just orbs. Orbs could be whatever phenomena, semiluminescence, electromagnetic, sound, the superfluid, anything could be the reason. But these are all orbs of light, right? So there is always happening of alignment and eclipses, not only the sun and the moon. And there are eclipses which are smaller, which we even can't see. So, and I also shared on Jeranism about that apart from the sun and the moon, that there could be Venus and Mercury involved. And we did that on a live. Even the guy who jumped after me also, they tried to look back with Stellarium to go back in time. And looks like it's every 18 years, the same kind of eclipse will happen. Maybe not in the same geographical location, maybe in different location, but the same kind of eclipse is going to happen.
Yeah, the same patterns.
Exactly. So, and the best part is that Mercury and Venus is always involved there. So there are alignment of 3-4 bodies, right? Some even flat earthers think that the moon, it's not the moon that is coming in the middle, but according to the different sky map.
That's fascinating. I do want to say, like, jumping into where you're saying there, that the North Pole and part of the eclipses, through every logic filter you can drop it through, it works. Magnetically, it works. I mean, no matter how you put that into the picture, the North Pole and the energy, I don't know if it's Mount Meru or again on the magnetics, I would show a vortex there, a quadrupole looking at the things, but the logic of it being involved in it makes perfect sense. I've never heard about the other planets, but I do want to say your first part, I wholeheartedly agree, and this part here is fascinating too, because again, I think most things are part of systems, not just this is that. It's because it's a certain sequence of things that work in systems. So I think this is again fun to look into. It's new to me, fascinating, and I thank you for that. And I'm gonna have to go back and watch that debate. And I didn't watch it either because McToon is like a cheese grater on my brain. And I admire the fact that you do this with him. But yeah, this is new couch. I might even take this on to hear it. But very
And
cool.
also Cami, thanks. And also on Speaker's Corner last episode, I was there for 10 minutes on Jainism. Me and the guy after me continued. So we speak about that especially, and the eclipse and the North Pole. And there's a short, it's 10 minutes, but you just have to skip to my part. And I was trying to get on, and I was having issue with to getting on a couple of times. I dropped out, but finally I could, and we shared that. It's 10 minutes, but it's lots. And this is the thing, as you say, right? Also, if we see the picture of Zack, there's a tree with the sun. I don't know if it's the sun or moon. So this is the same thing, right? The electromagnetic fields, the vortex, is like the tree of the life, right? And imagine when we see a huge tree and the sun going behind the tree, it almost like blocks it, right? It's just a very good example of what could be happening because of that tree of life is in the center, which looks like a tree of life, but it's the electromagnetic fields, the spiral, the vortex, right?
And it even looks more like, and the deeper you go into the magnetics on it, you'll get a quadrupole in the center too. Dipoles on the edges in this, but your flow on it makes again that beautiful vortex. It flows into what, in reality, what you're saying works. Again, your energy that would have to be in the center of this quadrupole. Again, it would be something that would affect light. It would polarize light. I mean, theoretically, not theoretically, but again, electric current and that magnetic field, electric current, these things do polarize light. So you do have different things in physics that are not, will these things be occurring? It's, we should be looking at them and the arrangements and you're doing pulls in so many different things in reality. And I love it when you do things, Vikka, bringing in new things. Again, it's hard to bring in new theories and new ideas, but you run these good filters. And this works.
Oh yeah,
the other planets and that, again, I don't know if it works. I haven't looked at the things too, but I like it that again we have to look to new ideas. We shouldn't be scared to relook at things differently. And it's brave and brilliant to do it. So thank you.
Oh yeah, that's how we learn, right? And as you say,
yes.
Right, electric and electromagnetics, and that phenomenon, that like Faraday effect is a way. It's like when a similar phenomena that is happening when electric meets with electromagnetics, it creates distortion.
It creates, yes, and 90 degrees, that's the Faraday effect. And we know that these things happen. We know,
exactly.
Again, we're not talking when you say reaching up, where we're not we're pulling things out our ass.
I'll put in the chat and in the call, please, Zach. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
You know certain things polarize light, and you know, what was that? Say that again?
I didn't mean to jump over you. I'm sorry. I was wanting to get that video, man. I can never find it when I look for it.
I love this. Yeah, I love this video. But yeah, these things.
Well, the whole polarization thing to me is just so key, Cami. When y'all showed us that out in your driveway, that broke our brains on this show, all across the board.
And Vikka, what he's talking about are not theoretical physics. It's real physics. It's again the look and you touch type of things that you can cross polarized fields and the lights go out. You can recreate the Faraday effect. Anybody can. The more you learn about what angles of lights do and the different effects created by them, not only Faraday effect, but again, when you run polarized light and you look at it through different materials, you'll get you pick up your refractive index and you pick up double refraction and things that, again, people are just scratching the surface on. We have all of these things in reality to look for. And we're looking, again, it's refreshing that we're looking at things and looking at it, figuring it out. They say we may never know, but on the other thing, it's that we have the possibility of figuring things out. And I think that's exciting. Will we be able to confirm it? No, but will we be able to come up with different working possibilities? Yes, and the fact that we might be come up with several working possibilities when the globe Earth can't even come up with one when they know less than 3% about everything, I think is pretty amazing. And I'm not letting you talk because I want to learn more about it, but I appreciate so much what you're doing that I just want to encourage, again, the people that are, like, again, doing the research and bringing out theories that work in reality, that are not 1,000-foot giants, or, again, not science fiction again, but things that work in reality, where we know that we have giants in nature, or in all the myths and all the things of history. We can also kind of say, but by different even skeletal remains that we found of giants in New Zealand, and that they were big, but not that big. So, different things like that.
Oh, yeah, it's true, as you say, right? We are not taking things out of thin air, or everything that we are hypothesizing that it has a backup of science, right?
Yes.
Anything, right? So
Yes.
that is why our research is reached to the stages where we are backing things up by real science and not just the pseudoscience that they've been selling us with their fake numbers and maths.
Right. But again, if you step away like a child and think about spinning water balls and seeing forever and things like that. Again, as soon as you step away from thinking you've learned and memorized and you have it all, and you just disconnect from the memorization and just look at things with the filter of, wait a minute, does that work in reality? Kudos to you, Vikka, for like the filters you use. It's so important that people are going through it with those. And I love, again, tell me more.
Oh, that's the best part of the community, right? We all are connecting the dots, right, together. And a small contribution from everybody makes that big picture, right? Also, speaking about...
Exactly.
And speaking about the auto-illumination of the moon, right? There are many different possibilities, right? With this, apart from the luminescence of the stars, the way the radiation of the sun, it falls and create the phases, and the way the eclipses are happening, as we spoke about the electromagnetic fields, right? It's all verifiable science, right?
It is.
Nikola Tesla knows that the Earth was a generator in a way, right?
So it is in a way, yes.
A Tesla coil itself.
Yes.
Exactly. That's how all of his technology works on a geocentric, stationary Earth. All his tech, the radars, the radio transmission, the ball lightning experiment, the towers, the AC motor. It's so many things work on the basis of this realm being geocentric.
Well, yeah, he came up with the first idea of the rectenna, which is like the RFID, the little wires that come off of the chip that pick up the signal and then turn it into energy. It runs it through some kind of diode, or there's I forget the term now. It's been a minute, and I didn't dive too deep into it. But yeah, the rectenna.
And Marconi also stole his technology when he made that experiment.
Oh yeah,
Marconi. Yeah. What's amazing is again the simple filter of all engineering, all building, all. Again, technology works 100% fine with the flat Earth. It's only when you put in a sphere that you throw a curve into the works. But it all works perfectly. It's runways. No matter what you're talking about, it all works perfectly. Nobody can argue that it would not work in engineering, and that would not work perfectly on a flat Earth. And hence, we design everything for it.
Oh yeah, this is an intelligent design. Absolutely. That's why I call it the mechanical realm. We are all part of this great mechanism. That's why everything functions and everything is important for it to exist, right? For this whole mechanism to work.
Oh yeah. I had somebody was saying it. I forget who it was. But they were like, "Oh, we need to save nature," somebody was telling them. He's like, "Do you feed the birds?
Exactly.
Do you water the forest? What do you mean you need to save nature? Nature takes care of itself. It's all a beautiful working system that's all designed to just keep going. You can mess it up in areas, pollution and whatnot, but nature cleans itself. It fixes itself.
In one go, brother. In one go, right?
Yeah.
She'll clean us up.
Yeah, it's the amount of power that we think we have over this place is laughable. That kind of power, the mechanical power. We don't mechanically control this place at all. We fiddle with things here and there, making clouds and messing with the weather and this and that. But we're still infants at it. We're not even walking. We don't understand this place enough to control it.
Oh yeah, absolutely, guys. I'll be getting more philosophical if I stay more because it's already 3:30.
Yes,
I'm almost.
Thank you so much, Vikka. This has been awesome, and we got to get you back.
Vikka, I have a special request for you, or not a request, just a question for you. Outside of, we do want you back, but would you ever be interested in like one-on-one brainstorming and putting again, not at 3:30 in the morning for you, but just sometime when you're not busy hitting different things and connecting dots on some models and that with me?
On which date? Sorry, I didn't get it, Cami.
Oh, on any date, I'm not talking even on air even. I'm just talking about brainstorming. I'd love to brainstorm with you a little bit. Are you ever open for that, or?
Oh yeah, I'm open. I do podcasts. I have a weekly podcast every Sunday called Heliopsychosis. You are welcome if you want to join sometime. Zack, right?
What time is it on Sunday?
I do Sunday 6 p.m. CST, but in a month or two it's gonna be 8 p.m. CST. Right, and also I'm open to also come here if you guys invite me also. And
yeah, man.
Any other podcast?
It's been
definitely
way
maybe
long
get you on
coming,
tech too. We can get you on the tech show on Sunday. The reason I don't know about your thing on Sunday is we have a Globebusters show going on at the same time. But when you move to a later time, it won't be over the slot, which again, we overlap things a lot. Last night it was fun. We had Globebusters, Jeranism, and Witsit all running at the same time. Which I think is that's like the absolute best because you have different things and
there's so many choices. I know, man. Remember when there was hardly anything and now there's just too much. It's great.
No, I like
truly,
that.
man. Anytime,
anytime
you're welcome.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Cami, and anytime shoot me a link. We are also friends on Facebook. I use a lot Messenger.
Okay.
Drop me anytime a link, and if I can,
I was going to say, now then the call with her, you can add her as a friend here on Skype too, so you guys can have calls and talk off the air, or however you want to do it. Yep, absolutely.
And hey, Zack, would you be?
And man, I heard you say about the early morning garden time with us on Ironworks. Anytime you're out there and want to hop on, and conversation spark something, hello, you're welcome, man. Once you're in, the door never closes behind you, friend. You're in for life. So.
Same goes for you guys, and thanks for having me. That was really amazing time here for sure. I would love to stay more, but as I say, I would get more.
Staying up late, man.
We'll plan a better time.
Absolutely,
one of these days. Zack, I promised you'd be a dancing chicken for me, and real quick, tell the story about the time. And I use the word recruited. That's not the right word. Nominated, I think, would be the more appropriate and accurate word. That time that you were nominated for the Dimmalay Society.
Okay, yeah. I was like 11 years old, and I got a letter in the mail, and they asked me, and there was, I think, 4 other boys there, maybe 3 other boys. And they said someone from the school. My mom asked, how did we get this? Why was he? And they said somebody from one of the teachers from my elementary school had nominated me. And it was for Demole, which is Freemasonry for children. And they told my mom and me that I'm going to get to travel the world at a very young age and be taken all over to these places and see stuff and this and that and get to meet powerful people and make powerful friends and yada yada, all that great stuff, right? And then, but they did tell my mom that one of the stipulations is that you're not to pry and press him when he gets back from these places about what occurred, because this is like a secret society. So he is going to be, keeping secrets. And she didn't like it, but I guess I wanted to do it. And they gave me a little paragraph to memorize, and I went back to the Masonic Lodge, and they were going to have the initiation down in the basement. And they walked me down some stairs, and there was a bunch of grown-ups guys in black robes standing around with candles lit. And I didn't even really get that great of a look at the room, because as soon as my foot hit the floor, they never said a word to me. As soon as my foot hit that floor, that little voice inside of my head screamed at me. It didn't say it. It screamed it. It said, "Get out of here. You do not want to be here. This is not good." And I did. I turned around and I said, "Hey, I don't think I want to do this." And it was weird because they didn't press me at all. Like when I quit playing baseball, my buddies' parents and stuff, "Oh, come on, Zack, come on. All the guys want you to play on the team still, and this and that, and yada, yada." There was a little bit of that. None of that here. It was, "Oh, okay." Like, it's all about free will, and you have to decide to do it. They can't, lure you or tempt you or persuade you in any way. And
so do you think spider senses are called that because that's what it feels like when you see a spider? That, "Oh, get out." Sorry.
Yeah, no, this was different than a spider sense, though. Like, I get those tingles sometimes where it feels like a spider's crawling on you, and you get
that right there would be an ultimate fear, get out type of thing for me. So I think our spider senses are different, but we were letting
senses, I think, refer to your precognition, spider senses, and your reflexes. And a spider's ability to seemingly move so fast, it's as if they know you're coming before, like they even should know that you're coming. I mean, this is not just from Peter Parker's trip to the fucking field trip.
Right. It's from science. It's from spiders.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, I'm doing it from a girl's point of view, where a spider sense is just horrifying. So you said to spider, you freak.
Crazy stuff, brother.
I'm also a girl when it comes to spiders.
I'm a total girl when it comes to spiders. I don't like spiders and snakes.
I'm better with spiders than I am snakes. But I'm not very good with either. I'll suck it up and all again. I will gladly escort a spider outside my house. But
I'm scared of sharks.
I would not gently escort a snake outside my house. If I were to escort him outside my house, it would be less than gently. Just saying.
I used to play with snakes.
All right, we're going to get out of here.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
We need to let Vikka
So, Zack, maybe you were not supposed to be that. That's why you are not there, right?
Yep, exactly.
So
I thank that little voice in my head quite often when I think about that. Every time I think about it, I say, thank you for...
Oh, yeah, we have to, brother. We have to listen to that inner voice. If no, we're going to be having really hard lessons in life. So, And the synchronicities are also very important, the signs and the signals, right, in life. So, absolutely. Thank you, brothers, for having me. Yeah. So,
thank you,
and thank you, everybody in the chat, the amazing people there who shared this time with us. Josh, Zack, Cami, Walt. I'll see you guys. Thank you so much for having me, and have a good evening.
Thank you, Vikka, and you have a good day. Yeah.
Yeah, sleep well. Enjoy your weekend. Sorry to keep you up so late. We'll plan better next time.
No worries, brothers. Yeah. Good night.
Good
Bye.
night.
Later, brother.
Vika's links are all in our show description there. There are many, and he spoke about some things there before as we were going on that, yeah, definitely some huge numbers, craziness. Was it 70,000 in one of those groups, he said?
Yep, I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It really is. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us tonight. Always a good time.
Love y'all.
Love you guys. Be sure
Peace
check
out,
us
everyone.
And be sure you check us out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Over there on the Ironworks. Hey, play. All right, whatever. It's just going to start doing random shit. We'll see you back here probably next Friday.
Love you, Josh.
Hopefully under better
Love you, Cami.
circumstances. I'll be
Love you, Zack. Thank you all. Quentin called
Love
me.
you
He's